This episode of Clear Shots is presented by the Impulse Podcast Network. Check out impulsepodcasts.com for more info.
Welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast with Seth Skinner and Jake Jones.
All right, welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast. Gotta add the extra clap too.
Yeah.
My name is Seth Jackie Chan Skinner. I'm sitting here with he's gonna throw up.
Are you gonna puke?
Oh my god, he was borderline, dude. He was really going.
My name is Jake. I thought that Ice Cube was a lot smaller, Jones.
Oh. And
Who the hell?
I'm Zemiah Spray and Pray Phrance.
That's a good one. I like that.
Oh. Yeah. So we were talking about beer.
Yeah.
What don't you like about Sierra Nevada? Is it the same reason? And I know Wes is gonna fucking say something next time I see him.
He's mad already.
He's already mad. Is it the same reason Wes doesn't like it because it's too big of a company now, or is it like actually a reason because of the flavor and stuff?
No, I just think it's overly bitter, in my opinion. I really like Goose IPAs. I really like a more fruity IPA, like less of a bitter IPA. You know what I mean? Like, if I have to drink a bitter IPA, I'll drink a Nirvana IPA by Omegang. But
Omegang is
dude,
pretty good.
I think I just don't have the discipline to drink IPAs.
Because you want to drink it fast.
Yeah, like I want to drink a lot.
I do that too. It's fine.
But like I feel like I want to drink a bunch of them, and like I feel like with those, I need to sit down and just appreciate the taste of it.
You're supposed to, but you're supposed to do that with a lot of things.
listen here.
Well,
this is what I
actually a
do
good
though
point.
with sipping beers. You open up your sipping beer, and then you open up just a regular old
Your
chugging beer
base
right next
beer,
to
like
it. Exactly.
Your fallback beer.
Exactly. And or a palate cleanser, if I may.
Right.
So
okay, yeah, I like
you
that
just
strategy.
take a sip of your sipping beer, and then just go ham on the other one, and then you just have that chilling.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
I want to go to
See,
go to C's and get like try some of the fucking shit, but I don't know. I never had the dude. Megadeth has a beer. Metallica has like a whiskey.
So does
It's
Iron
like,
Maiden.
I've never tried any of those.
What
Iron
you
Maiden
should
has
do
a
for
beer.
IPAs, and this is going to sound sacrilegious, but I like IPAs room temperature instead of ice cold. I don't like my IPAs ice cold. That's it. IPAs and Guinness, I have to have like room temperature.
Is this you coming out as a serial killer?
I think I've done it before.
He doesn't have to come out. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
That's true.
Like it's already.
Wait, what serial killer traits do I have besides the two I just mentioned?
Well, you scream in your sleep.
Oh yeah, I do. We talked about that last week.
I think a lot of them do that. I would imagine. I haven't done the research, but I would. If I had to guess, I would say that they do.
Probably.
I do talk about how much I love murdering people unsuspectingly and without remorse. Like that is one of my key
Right.
things.
Yeah, we were at Bames picking up his liquor earlier, and we're walking out of the store.
What I did say was
and,
wicked funny though.
And he opens the door for this girl, and she walks through, and he's just like, "Yo, what if I just fucking stabbed her and just kill her right now?"
not what I
I'm just like,
said.
you'd probably
That
get in a
isn't
lot
what
of
I
trouble,
said.
Jake. You'd probably get in a lot of trouble. And police would probably
that's
come.
tough.
That is a giveaway, though. It does make you seem like a serial killer if you consider.
No,
Yeah,
I said
when-
something way funny.
When she was walking by him, I could watch him just like staring at the veins on her neck. It was crazy. It was nuts.
you did audibly go, dude. I could hear you smell her when she walked by, and I was like,
Well, that's just getting a sniff.
yeah.
I mean,
that way I can remember.
that's not saying, "Hey Z, what if I just fucking offed her right now?" You know?
Yeah. No, I remember like
He
one
did
time
not say that.
at the old studio. There was like Bill was going down the stairs right before Jake, right? And Jake was like turned to me and he goes, "Dude, I'm gonna push her down these fucking stairs." And I thought he was gonna do it, so I put him in a full Nelson and I neutralized the situation. But it's like it's just those things, they pop up once in a while, and you gotta reel them in, you gotta wrangle them.
There's those thoughts that you don't say out loud.
Well, but the problem is he says them out loud, you know.
Yeah.
Now you guys are talking about everything I do.
Now you're nitpicking.
We're nitpicking.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the showering with the door open is a little weird, right? But I mean, again, it's like
I also
you do,
take ice cold showers.
Yeah.
That kind of freaked you out last week.
It's a little weird.
Like literally, like when you turn the shower on, like you have just enough water to have the water come out, and it's ice cold.
Yeah,
that's how I take my showers.
Yeah, you like to like simulate what it feels like to be a corpse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh shit! Is that what that is?
That's what it is. Like if we're trying to be like psychologists. Like that's what the psychological experts would say.
No, it feels really good when you like take a really cold shower and you just scream. I shower with the lights off and the door open, which is a kind of counterintuitive. But
right. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I think the fact that you taste your jizz most of the time is a little weird too.
I did not say that on the show, but thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally was like, hey, now that the mics are off, that's what I started doing. I started chugging my own cum, dude.
Yeah, that was a little...
That's a lie. But it doesn't matter what I say because people are going to think I do it anyway. Like, it doesn't matter what I say. Like, literally, people are going to be like, yo, did you guys know that Jake drinks his own cum?
Well, why would they...
He's a character.
They're not going to trust a serial killer, though. You know what I mean? Like a closeted serial killer.
Yeah. It's not like that's just kooky Jake, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just he's a cartoon.
No, he's chopping people up.
Anyway, Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah,
pretty sick. I think it's gonna be cool that it's gonna be free multiplayer.
I'm excited that they added in Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
they did add Donkey Kong. Yeah, that was.
Can you imagine if Donkey Kong was the king of the brutes?
I thought that was what actually is.
That's what it is. Yeah,
that's not what the picture is that's going around.
There's a lot of memes about the main boss or whatever, which is, I mean, I don't know. He didn't seem very terrifying. I thought it was really stupid that they took like during the trailer, like the gameplay demo or whatever, they decided to do like a 2-minute close-up shot on him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with that. Like maybe I think they were trying to make people like scared of him.
Yeah.
I feel like Destiny did a lot of that too. Like the first Destiny with like, and even with the second one with Gaul, like they did a lot of weird close-ups.
I remember seeing way too much Gaul like in the commercials.
Yeah.
And then you actually fight him and it's like, oh, this guy is nothing. He's just a Borderlands boss.
Dude, he was literally just a boss that like
I guess Destiny is just Borderlands.
Pretty much.
Well, it's similar in a lot of ways.
It's like a worse version of Borderlands.
Fuck.
But like that boss was literally just a guy who does all of the supers that you can do.
Yeah.
Those were his moves.
They just added that new expansion to Destiny 2, didn't they?
So they
had the pyramids or something.
You have 2 of those.
Yeah, but like
I feel like a serial killer would say something like that.
I have 3 jewels technically.
Right, but you got 2 right there.
One of them stays at home permanently.
Right.
It's locked up.
But yeah. Yeah, they did do the they did have an expansion. I didn't play too much of it. Like I don't know. I'm kind of out of it until there's like a big update.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't seem to add too much. I'm really like just excited for it to go to like the next platform and hopefully they can do stuff from there. I've just been like not big on it because since they went free to play, they're kind of just like laying low on it and shit.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I like that it's free, but like it's free up to like Forsaken or whatever, and then there's like Shadowkeep. And then
you gotta buy all the fucking expansions at full price.
Yeah. What's cool is they're doing a Destiny Vault, so they're gonna have like all the old content, like you can access it in some weird way.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool because like I like the idea of going back to like Destiny 1 maps and stuff like that.
I
wish it was just Destiny and then they kept building.
That's
on
what
that.
they should have done.
That's probably I think that's what the original plan was.
But then didn't Bungie branch off of
Activision. Yeah, and now it's just Bungie. So I think they're just doing that with Destiny 2. I think the plan is they're going to take Destiny 2 and just go with it for a while.
I'm glad.
What did Destiny 2, when it became free to play, did it do anything for people that like myself that purchased the original game full price, like, do I get anything?
You get,
because I don't want to buy all the expansions again, or at all.
well, you would probably have more than you've paid for already.
Really?
Yeah, because you get up to Forsaken, and I don't think you got Forsaken.
No.
Yeah, you'd have more content already.
Grab a beer real quick.
Oh, can you grab me one of those things?
You're dead. You're gonna trip and fall and die. Yeah. But like, I don't know. Like, I like the idea. I mean, technically, Destiny 3 would have come out soon. Like,
Yeah.
if they were on the same schedule.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's tough, like, because Bungie, like, is a pretty good company, but it's not the same people that were there for, like, Halo 2 and 3. And,
Yeah.
like,
Well, the thing is like, I think my problem with Destiny 2 was that for me, Destiny 1 was such a crazy. Thank you. We were talking.
dude, Destiny's just a roller coaster, though.
Well, no, I was just. We were talking a while ago when we were just hanging out, not doing a show. We were talking about, like. Oh, no, it was one of the old episodes we did, the quarantine episode. Z, you might have been on this one. We were talking about what's the last time you had, like, a magical feeling from a new game that you played?
Oh, yeah.
Destiny 1 was one of those games where I was like, this is crazy. How are they doing this? Like, and I think that magic was why I enjoyed it so much. And then Destiny 2 was just kind of like, it was good.
Yeah.
But honestly, Destiny 2 I think is better, like, mechanically. But there was something, it was like a perfect storm because it was like right when we started, or right when I started college and right when we started hanging out, and other people, everyone had it and everyone was playing it.
Yeah.
And now you're the only person I can play with, and we don't play games together. That's just a law.
No, that's weird, dude. Like,
I actually don't play with anybody.
I mean, like I said, they're fucking total roller coasters. Like, you could have a expansion that comes out that's wicked awesome, and you're like, yes, I'm pouring hours into this. And then, like, the next one that comes out, you're just like, what the fuck? There's barely anything here. Or, like, they broke this mechanic, or, like, like, economy's broken all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And with those big games, like, it's tough to not do that. Like, if is Borderlands all single player?
Well, technically, you don't have to do co-op, but it has a big emphasis on it.
But like, if Borderlands was like open,
There's no like PvP or anything.
yeah, like if it was open and there was like an actual economy and like all that stuff, it's harder to manage those type of things with the way that people try to exploit things.
Yeah.
and-
Did you guys play the third one?
3? Yeah, I did.
Was
I
it
haven't
good?
finished it yet. It's good. I just haven't finished it yet because
okay.
I'm just like, oh.
That's another game that I think I'll put in the box of games that made me feel magical. Borderlands 1 was pretty insane to me.
Right?
There just
Where
wasn't
is
anything.
this box of things that you have? Do you have one of those? A physical box of things?
I think it's like a theoretical box.
Oh, okay.
It's like
in your-
Schrodinger's cat, but in my head.
Right. It's like a. Okay, so
yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think maybe that has to do with those were games that came out when I was younger too.
yeah,
I'm less impressed by stuff. Nowadays, I've been getting depressed. Nowadays, I've been getting depressed. Only since the
that's a
11th.
topic change, but
I get surprised by games on accident. Does that happen to you guys?
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Well-
oh, I guess I'll play this, and then it's like, holy shit, how like.
Sure. Like, my expectations are a little lower for games now too, and it feels like every shooter just feels the same now. And like, I've been playing shooters for long enough to where like I'm now just going, okay, it's another shooter. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I tried playing Battlefield 1 because it was like $3. I was like,
Damn.
okay, I'll grab it, but like. Yeah, well, no.
Yeah.
Like the first dude, actually, I've done it twice. Tried to play it. I did it on Xbox because it was free at some point, and then on PlayStation I saw it and it was wicked cheap, and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get that because I have a friend that plays it, and I was like, all right, I'll check that out. And then I played 10 minutes of the campaign where you are like you're supposed to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
7 times or
Yeah,
some stupid
yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you fight in every single battle, like every single big battle of World War One.
Yeah, and you just
every
die.
time. Yeah.
And it's like as soon as I finished those and got into like the actual story, that's when I quit.
Yeah, that was the thing. That I did the same thing. I liked Battlefield 1. I played it a shit ton, but the story mode everyone said was awesome. But I thought it was cool that you're doing like these half-hour missions and then you die, and it's like, oh, sweet. And then it's like like you said, the actual story starts, and I just don't care.
Yeah,
There really wasn't a story though. It's just like
It was like
us and our men went here. This happened.
Yeah.
And it was a cold day and blah, 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 blah. And then you go in and you fight and you do what it tells you to do. You go to the next one.
it
Yep,
didn't. I mean,
we're here now.
yeah,
yeah.
It's like,
that's kind of what Battlefield feels like anyway, though.
Yeah.
Most of the Battlefield games felt like that. but
Bad
it's-
Company games had wicked good stories.
Yeah.
they did.
That
like
was
the
best
base
part.
Battlefield games.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I
Bad
don't
Company
know.
2 might still be my favorite shooter ever.
I just. Yeah,
Next-
that's a
Next to
fucking.
the Columbine guys, am I right, dude?
Yeah.
Dylan and Eric, this one's for you.
No, it's not though.
Cut that
I
part
feel
out.
gross now.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
But the last game that made me actually like feel magical, I guess, or like that I felt was actually like magical was God of War.
The 4?
Like the remake, the new PlayStation 4 one.
That was
what
really
what made
good.
it feel magical to you?
It was just that.
Because you're a big God of War fan, right?
Oh yeah, I
was gonna
played
say,
ever since
and
That
the
Dan
definitely
game.
helps.
Yeah.
I never played 3. I skipped 3, but like because I didn't have
3 is
PS3.
really good. Well, they're all good.
But the new one was really fucking good.
You should play 3. I think they have it on.
I have it. I have.
Oh, you do have it?
Yeah, I think I bought it.
Yeah,
I
you
bought
got it on
the
PS4?
Yeah.
Dude, that's when
Is it remastered? It might be remastered.
it's
Yeah, it's
remastered.
Yeah.
But it looks so good.
It does.
Um,
It looked amazing when it was on the PS3. It was
Yeah.
like, holy fuck.
That was I remember I bought God of War 3 when I was hanging out with Dan because it was $15 remastered for PS4, and we sat down and we beat it in like 5 hours.
Yep.
It's just it was so good.
Yeah, it's
I-
cool.
I
love
really
it.
wanna
like,
play
It's a
it.
lot. It's a button masher too. You know?
Yeah, but it's badass.
And it's a lot of
Yeah.
QTEs.
It's like the Gears of War of hack and slash games.
Yeah,
Like it's
and-
literally just like the stereotypical wicked huge testosterone infused character just fucks people up and fucks
He's
bitches.
buff. I gotta say, he's buff.
He's
He
pretty
is
cut,
pretty
dude.
ripped. Yeah.
Well, he's like he's like LeBron, bro.
Well, he's a little bigger than LeBron.
Is he,
I would
is
say.
he bigger than LeBron? Is Kratos taller than 6'8"?
I would say
Yeah.
Kratos is
Look,
probably.
somebody look up. Where's Jamie? How tall is Kratos?
but
That's
like
actually a good question. Never
just-
thought of that.
just going
How
from
tall is
those
Kratos.
just going from those old God of War games where it was like the camera was fixed at a
Oh,
certain
he's 6'6".
point. Oh, shit.
Bitches. Sorry to cut you off.
Fixed at a certain
Well,
point.
the camera was just fixed at a certain point, and you're just watching like from like a side view or a top view or
Yeah.
like a diagonal view what was going on. And I was just so used to that, and then I saw the stuff for the new game coming out. I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna be. That's gonna be really different. It's
I
gonna
thought
be
that
really
too.
weird. And then I played it, and it's just
It's
so
definitely
fucking good.
different. Like, but it still feels like it's a God of War game, though.
Yeah. And then once you get to the halfway point where Kratos goes back and gets his chains of Olympus out of
That's
the
so
fucking
cool.
floor,
Yeah.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. I was like,
Yeah. No, it was a nasty. I think Horizon Zero Dawn was one of them that did like that to me too, though. I felt like the art style of that was wicked cool because it was like mechs and it was like in the jungle, like or not
Yeah.
jungle, but it was like
The
in the
animals were
wilderness.
robots, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
it was all.
So it was like
these crazy
Dr.
robots.
Robotnik took over the world.
Kind of, yeah. But
That's
it was
cool.
cool because you're using like arrows, like you're not using guns or anything. It's all
Yeah.
like
I watched somebody play that. Maybe it was Jamie.
it's a
I
really
think Sam played it.
it's a great game. Like it's done really well. And
One of the ones that did that for me, which I rave about and will rave about constantly because it got me into the whole series, which I think you played. Devil May Cry 5. Did you ever play any of the Devil May Cry games? You played them, right?
I still haven't played
just
5.
the newest one.
I played the Devil May Cry, like the remake, the new one or whatever.
Yeah,
the reboot.
that's the only
basically.
one.
That's not a good one.
Yeah, it was okay.
Devil May
but
Cry
it wasn't-
5 was like, because I always watched like my friends play it. Like Wes loved those games, and I think I played 4.
Those are button mashers too.
Those are wild. Those are like it's weird because like your combos are so intricate, but they
Yeah.
all somehow still blend together. So you can pull off like once you get good enough, you can pull off like 40, 50 hit combos, and it never stops being
I
satisfying.
love that there's guns in the game, but they just do nothing. Like they do
Well,
like
they're-
no
they're
damage.
made to,
it
like,
kind of like keeps them.
It's a
juggling.
juggle
Yeah.
thing.
But 5 was sick because you play as Dante, so you got your swords and your guns and your different like fighting styles. He's got like 4 styles. But then you have Nero, who is the guy from 4 that's got like the crazy devil hand. But he gets his hand cut off and it's replaced with a robot hand that you can upgrade and stuff.
Yep.
Fucking sick.
So it's like Dr. Robotnik.
It's like Dr. Robotnik took over
Yeah.
Nero's right arm.
That's pretty cool.
And but then you play as this guy named V, who is like another fucking champion of
He's
hell.
the guy from V for Vendetta, right?
I wish,
I hated playing as V
but
when I played it.
V was fun until you got to a hard difficulty. When I
just
tried to
didn't like
replay it on the harder difficulty, it was dog shit. But it was fun, like when you're fighting like the shitty enemies, and you can have your 2 minions group up on them. But then like it was super samey. Because it would be like, all right, you're V, you're just this really skinny, lanky guy. You're like the lead singer of like fucking Arrested Development or whatever.
He literally looks like
Not Arrested Development.
the lead
Blood on the
singer
dance
of
floor.
Arrested-
Blood on
of
the
a
dance
TV
floor.
show.
someone took the guy who plays Kylo Ren and Marilyn Manson and then
Fused them together
them.
and then gave him an eating disorder.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
But like it was annoying because it's like, all right, fight all these enemies, fight this huge boss. Here's a puzzle. And that's like that's how the pattern is for every character. But like when you play as V, it's like he can't do anything. Yeah, like he can't jump or teleport or whatever.
well, like it was kind of like it's weird because like when you play Witcher 3, there's parts where you play as Ciri, and she's like just way more jacked than Geralt ever was, and it's like you kind of feel like underpowered when you play as Geralt afterwards, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't play bad games, so.
Yeah, well, it's the only game of the year, you know. Only like one of the top rated RPGs of all time. Arguably the greatest RPG of all time.
I don't know,
But
man.
yeah,
I don't know, man. You ever play Dig Dug?
It's not really an RPG. I mean, you do play.
You
the
play a
role
role.
of
You play the role of
a guy who's
Dig
digging.
Dug.
Digger Duggerton.
Dig Duggerton.
I think
The last of the Duggerton family.
No, Dig is short for Didgeridoo.
that's
You play as Didgeridoo Duggerton.
I don't think that's.
That just sounds like a YouTuber's name.
Yeah, it does.
Didgeridoo Duggerton.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like lore, like if there's like a backstory to Dig Dug.
I'm looking it up.
There has to be, right? Dig Dug fandom.
No, like
do the
I've said
fandom,
100
the wiki.
times.
Dig Dug
The
wiki.
Witcher's a good game. That's not my cup of tea. I don't like the combat.
Yeah, I guess. Like really, I guess the main draw
Oh
is
my
the
God.
story.
Right, but the story for me wasn't good enough to sit through the combat. You know, I don't know if there's a lot of games that can do that though. Like, I'm getting Kingdom Hearts. All the Kingdom Hearts games are on Game Pass.
Yeah,
and
I started playing 3. I played like maybe 2 or 3 hours of it actually.
I've been watching Zach play Kingdom Hearts 1. And I'm like, dude, I want to like this game so bad.
Yeah, 3 is
'Cause
cool.
so-
it's a lot of mashing though, like a lot of like
it's
spamming X or whatever.
Final Fantasy 15 I'm playing through again, and like it's one of those things, like Wes and I will say it's hard to play The Witcher because we like Dark Souls combat so much, and The Witcher is really just, it's not as fluid.
Sure, I could see that.
It's not as, I just don't think it's as good. I think like Bloodborne's combat
It's easier.
is,
It feels more like Assassin's Creed combat to me.
or like an Arkham game. which aren't bad.
It's a little.
They're not bad at all. Like Shadow and Mordor.
It's certainly closer to that than Dark Souls, but it's a little deeper than Arkham.
Yeah.
Honestly,
or like Spider-Man.
You know what? Another
Where you're
reason,
just smashing B. You're just like,
and then dodge once in a while. The dodge button.
Another reason I don't think I like The Witcher 3 is that it was a lot to digest really fast, and I just could not.
I didn't play the second one. I only played the third one, so I didn't know much of the story. I only got that storyline.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know what? A game. Okay, I like this little riff we're doing. Mass Effect 2 is a game I can always go back to and feel just as good as the first time I played it. I don't know if you guys have ever played any of the Mass Effect games.
Them, no.
I played little bits of each of them. I never beat one of them.
The second one is
kind of that kind
amazing.
of combat though. Like
the combat was strange.
The combat for the first one's bad. The second one's weird. The third one, the combat is great. But
yeah, but it's like there's that Star Wars game that's huge, like
Knights
that everybody really likes. Yes, Knights of the Old Republic, and it's like the same style basically.
Kinda, yeah.
It's weird, like dice rolls, and like it's not really dice rolls, but it's behind the scenes. Like
it's a lot of it doesn't know if it wants to be turn based or real time.
Mm-hmm. It's a hybrid.
Yeah, and it's
sorta.
The first one is awful. That's a game like that I cannot go back to, even though the story's amazing. But 2 is really, really good. But even like you guys
should try
played,
Andromeda, dude. I heard that the guys don't have faces and stuff.
Oh,
in that one.
Man. Actually, Andromeda wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that good.
It wasn't finished. It was also
no. It was just
it was rushed.
I think part of the reason people like the Mass Effect games so much was because it was the same story across 3 giant games, and then all of a sudden Andromeda's like, here you go, new galaxy. There's no ties to anything else. Here you go. Like,
new character.
Yep, brand new character, brand new cliche story, but it's not as like campy, or it's not as like, I don't know. I just didn't attach myself to it.
Well, didn't something just get pushed back? Oh, it might have been one of the Destiny expansions. But like when something gets pushed back, I kind of don't mind it because I know that, like, to me that just means they are aware enough to realize that they're not ready.
One of the guys from Nintendo had a quote about that, and it was like, you can never fix a game that is rushed, but you can always delay a game to make it perfect, or something along those lines. It's like
which is weird because nowadays that's not so much true, because you can always patch things in.
Patches.
But still,
because like back then, like back in the like original Nintendo days, once that game was out, like that's how it is forever.
Yeah.
Even if you emulate it, it's still that game for the most part.
I think that's why those gaming companies these days have gotten so much lazier, because they're just like, oh, if it's a problem, we just patch it in a future update. It's fine.
It'll come day one patch sort of situation.
Well, that's the argument for like Bethesda, right? Because they have people modding the games.
Yeah,
that's
but that like you shouldn't have to mod a game for it to be good.
No, exactly. I agree.
Like Fallout 4, I enjoyed it, but I will say it's a terrible Fallout game. But a decent video game, because I like the whole building aspect of it, and like the fact that you can just like there's just a lot more to the open world where you can go around and just do whatever the hell you want and not have to rely on VATS as much. But then that still takes away from the Fallout experience, to where like back at the New Vegas days, it was kind of like, all right, you're going to be shooting at this thing. At the beginning of the game, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to fucking hit that thing from a certain range.
Yeah.
So it's like you're still getting the whole RPG dice roll thing coming into effect.
That progression in video games is way more important than people think too.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? Have you played that yet?
No.
I've never played that. Is that any good?
It's really good, but it's really hard because your character literally starts off, you're a blacksmith's son, you don't know how to do anything. So, like, you can get the best sword in the game and stab a guy, but you don't know how to stab correctly, so you still only do, like, 4 damage. So you have to, like... It's a grind.
How do you stab incorrectly, though? Like, I feel like that's something you could just kind of...
I wouldn't know anything about stabbing. Don't talk to me about stabbing.
Well, I was going to bait you into something there,
but no, Fallout 4 was really good, man. It was it's like a comfort game.
Yeah.
Like it's a wicked good comfort game.
Kind of like Skyrim was.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that Fallout 4 had the Skyrim approach to dungeons where instead of having like New Vegas and 3 had like unmarked locations that you could get loot in, but with Fallout 4 if you found a location it would pop up instead of not being on your map.
Yeah.
And then you would know, oh, there's something I can do here rather than having to like pretty much go into every building in 3 in New Vegas hoping that there was something worthwhile.
It's part of like nowadays, like I get overwhelmed by big games. I think if I was to play Skyrim now,
well, we're getting older, man. Like we don't have enough free time anymore. Like, or not enough. We don't have as much. Like I can't dedicate.
We've just seen it all, I think.
That too.
That's part
like
of it.
That's what you meant when you were talking about shooters. Like you've been playing shooters since like 2001.
Sure, it's like you've seen, like the basics are there for shooters. Like so, everything's gonna feel pretty similar. Which is kind of why I couldn't like play Battlefield 1 because it's like I just feel like it's another fucking shooter.
Yeah. Do you guys watch? I know I've shown it to you before. Do you ever watch the YouTube channel Gamers? But the A is a V. You've seen a couple of their videos. They do this series called The Rise and Fall, and then they like Dead Space, Silent Hill. They just released one on Dead Rising, and they go through the whole like idea and
They
development
even do Dead
process.
Falling.
Dead Falling, yeah.
They do the rise and the fall.
They go through the whole development process, and I forgot how fucking crazy playing Dead Rising was until I rewatched that video.
Yeah.
Like the first time you played Dead Rising.
It was such a crazy concept.
We were like
of the
11.
game.
You and I were like 10 or 11 or some shit.
That's the thing. Like at the time too, it's like there's not really a game that did that. So like it was a totally different concept. That's something I think that's lost too, though, is originality
and risks.
Yeah. Everybody's like all these developers are very safe with what they put out. That's why I liked Rocket League, because Rocket League was very kind of a risk in a lot of ways. Because
didn't they already have?
They had a game, like, but it wasn't like
supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Yeah, and like no one really heard of it until Rocket League came out.
No,
I liked Rocket League. I just wasn't good at it.
Yeah, like I knew a couple people that had played the first one, but it's like
Brian played the first one, right?
Yeah, it was like a PlayStation exclusive or something.
PS3,
yeah.
Supersonic.
But like, but what was cool was like it was not like anything else. So you had like, and there was also like this crazy skill gap where you'd see guys flying around, and at first you're like, whoa, how do I do that? Like, how do I figure that out? But it's also a basic concept. It's soccer with cars.
I think it's crazy that like I got on Rocket League the other day, and it was like Thursday night at like midnight, and there was over 200,000 people online.
It's going free to play now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Actually,
it's the best move they could
I
have done.
like that a lot. I think with those games that are the same static play style, like Counter-Strike Go went free, which sucked at first, but now it's like, okay, well, you can always find a game.
Right.
But it also kind of makes it harder in the sense that there's going to be more players and there's going to be better matchmaking. Like people closer to your skill level because there's so many more players. It's easier to find for the matchmaking to find players that are your level. It's easier for you to find people that are your skill.
Right. I find in Halo, like, I'll play, like in Halo 3, I'll play like one game where I'm like up against these guys that are like MLG pros and shit. And then the next game, I'm just smoking guys and they've got 12 kills at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Total. And it's like, oh, well, what's wrong with the matchmaking? Is it the matchmaking or the player base? And it's tough with the Master Chief Collection because it's 4 different fucking games. So like people, you could have thousands of players on, but only a couple hundred playing the game that you want to play,
and only a couple dozen playing the game mode you want to play.
And the like the playlist basically. Yeah.
Like I bought like an idiot. I bought
You're not.
Well,
I bought Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Like recently?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a fucking dumbass.
Not to play the multiplayer, just to play the zombies
story.
mode. Because I really like Call of Duty Zombies.
Oh yeah.
So
that's another comfort game.
Yeah.
Well, to me, like I got sick of it after they did, like once you started drinking sodas and shit. You know, like I was like, all right, I'm a little over it.
Wild.
They've always had the perk soda.
No,
stuff. You're
World
right.
at War was just the weapons on the walls.
Yeah, Kino der Toten and shit like that. So.
Kino was Black Ops 1. That was the movie theater. Toten was World at War.
Yeah, Noctur and Toten, yeah.
It was...
Kino was a sick map.
It was.
That
the
was
theater?
The movie theater, yeah. That was a sick map.
It was.
They also had the map that was in the Pentagon, and when you got all the collectibles, they played an Eminem song, and then you got double damage for the whole song. That was sick.
Oh, they played an Eminem song? Really?
Yeah, he made a song just for fucking Black Ops.
He played as... what was it?
Richard
Kennedy?
Nixon,
Richard
JFK,
Nixon?
Fidel Castro, and Gorbachev
Yes.
or something. Lyndon Johnson.
Wait, he did it. Wait, he did a collab with those guys? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He collabed with.
Did you play with JFK?
Is the zombies for Black Ops 4 good?
I liked it a lot. It was just more. They added more to it. So like they made the maps bigger. They made it so like there was actually like an ending to it. Like you could actually get a bunch of shit, put it together, do all the steps, and then end the map. Mm-hmm. So, and they did that with a couple of them, and they did a darker tone with it as well. And they started throwing like bigger zombies at you, and like faster zombies, and like more multitudes. Not just like, all right, this next round is gonna be, we're gonna times the zombies you had last round by 10. And then the round after that, you get dogs, and then we're just gonna keep doing the same thing.
Which one was the one that had like it wasn't zombies? It was like infected or some weird shit.
That was ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah.
Okay.
It was the elimination or something.
I forgot.
It wasn't great. I didn't like it.
Extermination mode.
Yeah, something like that. It was. It was okay.
I didn't like that it was a story.
Nah, you don't want the story. You just want to kill zombies.
Because wasn't it levels like a chapter select like a story, or was there survival? I don't remember. There had to. It was a survival.
You had to make your way through the whole thing.
That's
and like,
right.
But it was the whole thing was like it railroaded you in the direction that you were supposed to go. Like there was only one direction to go, and it was like, all right, open up the next gate. All right, open up the next gate. It wasn't like, all right, we could open this one or this one and go this way or this way around the map.
That's what I liked about the original, like in World at War. You could go, all right, let's go upstairs first and like let's block this room off, or like I always went downstairs into that one fucking room where the stairs would come down.
Yeah, where the mystery box is.
Yeah. That's where I always blocked it, and then you just keep doing that until you get the ray gun or whatever.
Yep. I liked, was it Black Ops 2 that had the transit mode where they had the bus driving around? That was sick. Because Black Ops 2 came with 4 maps built in, but then there was a mode that had all the maps connected together, and you could take a bus in game and it would drive you to the next map, and you would have to like pick up collectibles and items and stuff throughout all 4 maps and put them together to get to the nest. It was pretty much just like the nest from Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like it was like an underground bunker or something. But that was cool. Especially because if you had a party that was good enough, one person could control each of the maps, and then like after like 10 rounds you can meet up and then fucking That's what I like, man. I fucking rave about that all the time. I love co-op games where you're not fighting side by side. Mm-hmm. Like I love Gears of War when they have like Dom and Marcus split up for a level.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Like that's the cool. I think that's so like cool. Like it's like like when we were playing through 5.
Yeah,
and we were like, all right, well I'm gonna go this way, and you know you guys like I'm gonna snipe from upstairs. You guys go downstairs. And then like you guys would have split off from that. Like that was cool.
I don't think I've laughed harder than when Seth was playing as Jack, the robot thing.
I forgot about that.
Because you could actually play as Jack.
I don't even remember what I could do. I was like trying to like zap people.
You could
Yeah.
you could tase people, but you could also hit them with a thing that would let you mind control them.
I think
And
I could
remember
revive people too, though.
You could revive people, but I just remember you mind controlling enemies and then like jumping off of things and dying.
Yeah.
Like instead of being helpful and like, oh, I'm gonna take this boomer and kill the rest of the locusts, you're like, nah, you just jump off a building.
Oh yeah, you could grab weapons and bring them to people too.
Oh, that was sick. Yeah. Gears 5
Yeah,
was
because
awesome.
you guys were playing co-op or whatever, and I just joined, and
Yeah.
it just made me Jack somehow.
Yeah.
I just remember I had it recorded and it's on my computer somewhere still. I have to find it because I recorded the last 15 minutes of the game where it starts off where you have to choose to save either JD or Dell.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Zemiah chose Dell, and we were like, no! And then you had the fake out. There's the fake out where Coltrane dies.
Yeah.
That part made me cry, where you think Coltrane gets eaten by the monster,
Yeah.
and then Jack sacrifices himself.
Spoiler though.
Spoiler alert for
Spoiler alert now.
if you haven't
for
played
12
it-
seconds ago.
yeah.
It's been out for a year.
Gears 5 is really... I want to play through that again.
I played it last night. Actually, I booted it up.
The
but, like, I don't
multiplayer?
know. I was playing Horde or something.
It's a shame that like I don't know. Like I was really good at Gears when I was playing it on my computer, but as soon as I went to my Xbox, I was complete shit. Absolute garbage. Just for some reason, just the whole analog stick thing just didn't make sense to me. And then I see you guys just zooping around the fucking map, getting fucking ass loads
Yeah,
of kills. But I'm just like,
We grew up on Gears, though.
yeah, you grew up on
Yeah,
it. So.
it's like
And I
we-
started with 5. So
Yeah. That
Right.
It's such a hard game, dude. That's why the multiplayer always dies.
It's hard in that the locomotion and like game mechanics are different from a lot of shooters. It's not really. It's a third person shooter in that it's third person. Pretty much. That's the only similarity to like other third person games.
yeah.
Like you don't really get one that has that sort of mobility. Like I don't know, and I think the
mobility, the
gore.
dodge
I think the
mechanics.
gore also is part of the charm.
Well,
It
it's
is.
also like a tactical shooter too.
Yeah,
Where, like you have to be strategic, but then you can if you're good enough and you know the angle right, you can just bum rush a guy that's camping and just blast him.
yeah,
Like that's what it makes it so intense for me, because it's like you can have these long firefights, but as soon as you hear someone coming to flank you, you got to switch to the shotgun and
yeah.
hopefully you kill him.
I think
I
in
can't
the
do it
first
quick
game,
enough. My brain's not
It's
like
so hard.
right.
It's so hard.
The
That's-
issue was like
yeah.
in the first game, it was all the Nasher shotgun. Basically, the entire game was.
Oh, yeah.
And then they made the Lancer somewhat like usable, but like still, the Lancer even now is like it's more of a suppressive sort of thing to like
Well-
trap a guy somewhere.
I was replaying through 2. I got really drunk a few weeks ago when I had a week off of work, and I got really drunk and re-downloaded 2 and just played that. I started at like noon and beat it by that night. But I remembered our biggest gripe, well, not our, because we weren't friends when I was 12, really. But they made it, like you said, where they made the Lancer overpowered when you were doing the roadie run, and if you got hit, only the Lancer, if you were getting shot by a Lancer while you were sprinting, you immediately, like, you slowed down to, like, a snail. And it was bullshit.
Yeah,
And it ruined Warzone. Warzone was the
It was
coolest
the,
fucking game mode. And then pretty much just made it so you have to play execution.
that was kind of how they wanted to. That was their plan on how to buff the Lancer.
Yeah.
It was to get it was to slow like stopping power sort
Yeah.
of thing.
What you only played 5?
yeah.
What other games you've been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing. Like I said, I got Call of Duty 4, and the reason why I went into that was because when I got it, I got onto the zombies. I was like, all right, this is a game that came out in 2018. It's not that old. There should be somewhat of a player base on it. absolutely nobody was playing zombies
Still?
on Black Ops 4. No, not on PC. Nobody. Like, I could not get into a match.
I feel like Call of Duty fans are those fans that will just move on to the next game. Like, that's just kind of how they are. They're going to buy it no matter what.
But then I figured out, what I figured out was, after I bought that, and I was just like, oh, well, nobody's playing whatever. I was talking to my buddy Jake, and I told him what I did, and he was like, oh, dude, you bought the wrong game. I was like, what? He's like, you're supposed to buy Black Ops 3, the Zombie Chronicles edition, and that's the one that people are still playing. I was like, what? Why? He's like, because there's player-made maps on the workshop.
Ooh.
I was like, gotcha. So then I went and I bought that, and I'm having so much fucking fun with it because
is it awesome?
it's fucking sick.
It's probably like a lot like Killing Floor with custom maps and shit.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's Call of Duty Zombies but custom maps.
That's what you need. Like, I think any game needs that, really, is like any sort of workshop where players can create and
That's
share.
what made Halo 3 so amazing.
It felt like I was playing Left 4 Dead 2 with the workshopped maps again.
Yeah,
Like it kind of felt like that. I was like, this is sick.
yeah. I wonder if Halo 3 would have been like as big if it didn't have Forge mode and stuff like that.
Dude, Forge mode and custom games kept that game alive for so long.
They just re-added that on PC.
Really?
Yeah, they added Forge.
That's sick. I feel like that was a lot of that was a lot of people's main.
Like, I was just playing Duck Hunt the other day on Halo 3. That was one of the best ones.
Were you guys all playing without me again?
Yes.
Nice.
Because it's like, if we ask you, you just don't do it.
I don't. I don't have it. I don't have it installed.
So we just kind of stopped asking.
Yeah.
You guys got to get the game Fight Crab.
Fight Crab?
Fight Crab.
Like Crab Battle.
Yes, it just came out, and
Sounds pretty
there's,
good.
It broke
there's
my knife.
over 20 kinds of crabs you can play as,
Oh, really?
and there's a shitload of weapons.
Uh-huh.
Like, so you can go in playing as like a fucking mud crab with like Thor's hammer and a shotgun,
Okay.
and see how that'll work out for you.
I like
It's
that the
hilarious.
game was called Fight Crab, and I was still surprised that it's a fighting game with crabs.
Yeah,
that
it is.
That still took my
It's
breath away.
fucking hilarious.
I don't know how you didn't expect that.
It was made by the people who made Golf with Your Friends, I think.
Golf with your friends.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. There's a game called Mount Your Friends on PC.
I have that too. It's a great game.
We've been kind of playing that.
It's another game they play without inviting me.
Yeah. And, like,
I
literally
play
you just
anyway.
play as, like, these buff dudes in, like, in one-piece suits, basically. And you just climb on each other, and you try to get to the top. And it's like you get like 40 seconds or whatever to try and get to the top, and it's literally just a climbing game, but it's hilarious because
There's dick physics.
Yeah, the dongs are flapping around and everything.
Yeah.
Wait, there's full dongs.
There's.
I mean, they're
not
packages.
naked dongs.
Yeah, they're packages.
You're in like a banana hammock or a thong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. You get to climb and stuff like that. But the game is very like weird because like there's not a game that plays like that.
Yeah.
Like each of the face buttons are your different limbs. And so you like swing yourself around. So you can
It's
like
climbing quap.
yeah, basically yeah. So like you hold a button for a limb and it lets go, and then you can use your analog stick or your mouse or whatever to swing your character around and like. We figured out how to like launch ourselves like up,
Yeah.
and try and grab onto shit. It's fucking hilarious though.
You got to play with zero gravity. That's the most fun.
That's
way
cool
to play.
too. There's like how it works is the first guy goes, he gets to like this line, and then he'll hit like space or start or whatever to stop there, and then your character just locks into that spot. So now the next guy who's up has to climb on your character to get up to the next line, and then he locks there. So then
It's like a barrel
after,
of monkeys situation.
Yes.
yeah, after like 30 turns, you just have a tower of half-naked dudes that you have to climb up, and it's hilarious. There's a lot of smacking sounds and dicks flying around and shit.
The sound effects make it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I've been playing through Faster Than Light again. Did you guys ever play that? FTL,
It's
Faster Than Light.
It's too fast, to be honest with you.
Well, it's a lot
More
of fun.
a slow-paced kind of guy.
I've talked about it before. I think it's like you're like a pilot of a ship,
I've seen the.
Well, I did a Clear Shots plays of it.
You did? It doesn't exist on.
Didn't
I don't think it exists.
it's
You might
gone.
have done it, and
I
it's
might have.
never been released.
Just like my Silent
That's
Hill
a
2
spoiler.
playthrough.
It's a
I told you about
preview
that
of
tragedy, right? I had
No.
like 6 hours of that Silent Hill 2 playthrough recorded, and I had it edited and cut down to like 45 minutes. And I deleted the files that I recorded before I exported the project, and it's all gone. That was the hardest I've ever worked on a fucking project for the show.
Was it in Audacity?
No, it was in Adobe Premiere and OBS.
Because I was gonna say if it was in Audacity, there's the restore feature, I think, where you can like restore shit that's that you accidentally deleted.
I tried
That almost has to be in everything though.
I
It's
had
like-
I have a system restore thing on my computer, and it's gone.
Ugh.
But it's fine. It just gives me an excuse to play through it again, and I already forgot enough of it to where it would still just be me playing it for the first time.
I want to do a let's play of Visage.
Dude, we want to
Because
do
I
that
just got
too.
that.
We want to do that really bad.
Yeah, it's very like I actually already tried, but
It's demanding, isn't
the
it?
game is very demanding. Yeah,
It runs pretty smooth on my computer.
it runs smooth, but when I try to do OBS and
yeah.
record it and all that shit, and
Yeah.
also run like the audio.
That's my favorite. I watch a lot of Oni plays on YouTube, and that's my favorite of his playthroughs is Visage. It's so fucking good.
Visage and Resident Evil 7 are my two favorite playthroughs of his.
I'm actually stuck in that game right now. So
Resident Evil 7?
in Visage.
Oh, Visage.
I like it's kind of like PT where you have to like find certain objects to trigger new events.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like it's me basically just walking around this fucking house until I find something that might do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Oni's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis original playthrough. That's a really good one you should check out. It's pretty funny.
So
But, yeah.
I guess Byron Collins has a bunch of rape accusations there. Brian Callen.
Oh, Brian Callen. Yeah. Wait, he has more?
Like I guess there was like 3 people.
Oh, Brian
that came out.
Callen, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it was just fucking Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
No,
so,
and
so-
Chris D'Elia's kind of got. I mean, he's still a scumbag, but at least he wasn't fucking underage women. So
yeah, like technically he didn't do
I
anything.
thought that was the whole
He
thing
didn't-
was he was sending a bunch of inappropriate shit to underage girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, they all lied,
basically
or at least the bigger ones did. I don't
basically
know.
he didn't know they were underage is how it basically came out. But like as soon as he found out, like they released like the full text message like threads, and as soon as he'd find out, he'd stop messaging him. But they decided to like crop it out and make it look like he was doing all that shit.
Yeah,
But, like,
I'm not condoning using your fame or
Sure.
celebrity status to fuck a bunch of
right.
barely legal teens,
Definitely
yeah, no.
creepy.
but
Very creepy.
it's
But also-
definitely leagues better than doing that to have sex with minors.
Right,
So that's
right.
my stance.
Also, don't cancel him because of not doing anything illegal technically.
right.
But Callen had a bunch, like I guess some girl that he had hooked up with forever ago that he used to like act with said that he raped her. Basically just said he raped her, and he literally like immediately was fighting back against it. Like he's like, nope, not letting this happen. And he actually put a thing out on his Instagram talking about how he's never done it. So, and it was consensual and all this shit. So he seems pretty. Like, I don't think he would defend it that hard if he actually fucking did it.
I'm not gonna have an opinion on it until all the information's released.
Exactly. That's
Just
where
like
I'm
with
at.
Chris, I didn't
The
say
problem
anything about
is-
Chris until everything was out.
The problem I have with this is, like, they don't have any proof because they are the ones who decided to wait 21 years to say anything about it.
Yeah.
So,
But still though, like
I think it's
something that should
tough.
get looked into, and
Yeah.
all of that shit should be taken
But
super
apparently-
seriously.
like, apparently the, like a year afterwards or something along those lines. I don't know the exact timeline, but I know that he was saying that she was still, like, auditioning to be on shows to, like, co-star with him. And he was like, that's not what a rape victim does. Like, she does, like, why? Why would she want to work with him again?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. If he actually did that, she'd be trying to fucking avoid him as much as she could, theoretically.
Probably. But again, you never know. And I don't know what to think about it until all of it is out.
And it's
public,
like,
so.
the problem is, what else comes out, though? Like, what else is there that can come out?
True.
Because, like, they can say it, but they have no proof, just like he has no proof.
Yeah.
So now all it is you're going to take sides.
Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. So it's like...
Yeah.
But now it's almost not, though. It's guilty until proven innocent.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because, like, you get accused of it, and then you have to disappear for a while. Like Louis did. Louis C.K. did the same thing. He disappeared and then came back, and it's kind of... He's fine, for the most part. Not now, because you can't do shows now, but...
Well, he does them on his website.
Right.
He still goes out and does... Well, now he can.
And it's like, if you think about it, it's almost better to do things on your own website.
Yeah.
Because you're not limited by, like, YouTube and shit like that.
Yeah. And it's by your... It's all your own, like, rules.
You own
your
it.
Thing,
you own all of it.
Yep.
I mean,
so you're
technically...
getting 100% of the income and revenue.
Yeah. And, I mean... I don't know. Steve-O did the same thing. He's doing like he did a comedy special and it's out on his website. And that's not because he needed creative control. It's because there's butt naked dudes that he can't put on YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
But like, you're better off because now you just put it on your website, you have a paywall, and you're going to make more money off of that, theoretically.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends. Because YouTube's pretty stingy as far as like payouts, unless you're hitting millions and millions of views. Yeah. But I think if you put it on your website, you might be better off because you're getting $9 a pop or whatever every time someone watches it. And I want to watch it because it's fucking Steve-O and it's got like a whole bunch of like the Jackass cast in it and shit.
Mm-hmm. And there's that new thing he's doing too. It's like a whole new Jackass thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wow, I kind of really want to see that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, of course. I still, like, every once in a while watch the old Jackass movies. It's like they don't get old. Like, they're still fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Which one's your favorite? Mine's 2.
2 is really good, yeah. Even the first one is just great, though. But 2 is definitely the best. 3 was
100%.
cool because they did it...
The slow-mo camera.
They did it all for 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 has the fake... terrorist bombing, kidnapping taxi cab.
Yeah, that was the best.
So
That's
funny.
probably my favorite bit.
With Danger Aaron.
And
my
also, my favorite one from the first one is when
They glued like a bunch of pubes on his face.
He had no idea there were pubes until they pulled him
hey,
out
I
of the
just got
trunk
a
of the
text.
car.
Who brought crabs to the party? He just throws up everywhere. But the one I love in the first one is when Dave England takes the shit in the fucking display toilet at Lowe's or whatever hardware store.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah,
one is
those are
so
great.
good.
Was it the first one where Ryan Dunn shoves a toy car and a condom up his ass
I
and
think
then
that was in
goes
the
to the
first one.
fucking doctor to get it checked out?
Yeah. It's so good. They do the x-ray.
Yeah.
And it shows the little car. Oh, it's fucking genius.
God.
It's so dangerous, though. It can't be good for you. Can't be good for your insides.
Probably not, but people shove shit up themselves all the time.
Yeah.
People shove shit up
Dude.
themselves for a living. And
The one where Preston was wearing the suit.
Oh,
the
that was in
sweatsuit.
Jackass too.
I can't watch that one. Like legit,
Or 3, I
whenever
don't
that one
remember.
comes on, I fast forward it or
The
I just don't
sweatsuit
watch
and then
it.
Steve-O takes a shot of it.
Yeah, that's so hard. Fucking-
I can't, dude.
I love my dad's favorite one is in 3 where Steve-O does the slingshot in the porta potty.
yeah, that's cool.
That was a pretty good one.
That was
Because as soon as he starts coming back down, it just goes like
he's like,
rockets in your face.
my dad always dies at the noise it makes. It slings up, slings down, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
And I'm like, Steve-O, why didn't you keep your mouth shut, dude?
You would think that's what you have to do. And plug your nose, too, probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Jackass 2 had the one where they drank the horse cum, right? They had 3-6 Mafia
so,
there, and
yep.
the guy from 3-6 Mafia gave
Yep.
was it Chris Pontius that drank it.
Yeah, someone was eating like shit, like horse shit.
Oh yeah, they made Dave England eat a thing of horse shit.
Yeah.
And then like the different shit where they just have Dave pooping on stuff.
Oh yeah, that one's amazing.
Yeah, because it'll just have like a static shot of like some random like miniatures of some shit,
and it's just getting covered.
And then
in
just
shit.
a giant turd pops in and falls in.
Yeah.
The beer chug ones are cool, where Steve-O just like lays on his back and he
the
chugs
butt chug.
beer. Yeah.
What's the one where they have the fart mask and Preston takes a shit in it while Steve-O has it on?
But you guys know, if they make another Jackass, this will be the first Jackass that doesn't have Rip Taylor at the end.
Rip Torn. I thought it was Rip Torn.
It's Rip Taylor.
It's Rip Taylor. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one fella. Yeah.
Rip Taylor.
Yeah, that guy who always comes out. He has the mustache and the
yes.
weird hair, and he's always has like the yo-yo flags.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
Is
That's
he?
super sad.
That's a shame. It also won't have Ryan Dunn.
Yeah. But they didn't have Ryan Dunn in 3, didn't they?
He was in
it.
He was
he
in
was
parts
in
of
parts
it. Yeah.
because it was right.
Is
around the time
Bam
he died.
alive?
Yeah,
He's alive.
he's doing pretty
okay.
good now.
Okay.
He's doing better.
Much better.
That's good.
For a
I
little bit
actually
there, he looked
saw
like Don
him
Vito.
when we went to see
He looked
him.
like Artie Lang.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He looks like Phil. He's starting to look like Phil.
Oh wait, hang on. Before you say that one, I love anytime they fuck with Phil. So when they have the alligator in the house, the one where they do the sledding,
Dude.
they have the fucking snow machine in the house.
The fireworks in the bedroom.
That
when-
one's great. But also when Chris Pontius has the gorilla suit on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
my favorite one
I
will
think the
always be.
fireworks was Viva La Bam though.
I think you're right. But when they swapped Phil out with Preston,
Yes,
that one
great.
is amazing.
Phil doesn't give a shit. That's the best part, though. Is he just doesn't give a fuck, no matter what
Well, that's
they
why
do.
Bam is the way he is.
Yeah, April freaks out, and then Phil's just like, crazy kids.
Yeah.
That's the one where the gorilla one's great because they're like, "Where's Phil? Where's Phil?" And he's like, "I had to take a shit. What do you want me to do?" And he's like in the bathroom shitting
With the door open.
My man.
Dude, yeah. I used to watch Viva La Bam all the fucking time too. It was kind of like a precursor to Jackass. Well, it happened at the same time, I guess, but
Yeah. Well,
it
I
was like
liked
a series of
I like the
Jackass.
0.5s of Jackass too. I don't remember specific bits from either of them, but I remember them being pretty good.
They were good.
Like, because they were all the ones that like didn't make it to the
Yeah.
movie, so they
And they
weren't-
had the little, like, interviews, too.
Yeah,
But it's like, you
that
know,
was the
they're
best
still going to be
part.
good because like they have to cut a lot of that stuff just to make the time constraint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough decision.
What's
to
the
make,
one
like,
where
which
they
ones
have
get cut and
they
shit.
have Preston and Wee Man, and Preston is like looking like King Kong, and Wee Man has the dress on, but all the other guys are flying fucking air hogs planes and flying them into
Yeah, and he's
to
up on
Wee
like
Man,
that
and
building thing.
They had to give Preston a bunch of Xanax to get him to get on top of the fucking fake building. They're like, yeah, we gave him 3 Xanax and he was fine. And it cuts to the next one. He's like, yeah, He's fucking loving life. 3 Xanax will do that to you, man.
Yeah.
Was it in 3.5 or 3? I think it was in 3.5 because I was like, how the fuck did this scene not get put in the movie? Was the one where they had Steve-O doing that really weird acrobatics thing where he was supposed to like jump over fire and he landed in it and part of his skin melted onto that metal plate?
Because the warehouse they were renting, the guy didn't want them to put the coals on the warehouse floor because he didn't want them to fuck up the floor. And even though they were like, we'll replace it, he's like, no, you won't. Like, I don't want you
So
fucking
they put it on like a wicked
sheets of aluminum or
like,
steel or something.
Something that would just
like
get
fucking
ridiculously
aluminum
hot.
siding. Like,
Yeah.
and he got he got like fucking like wicked
His
bad
skin
burns.
peeled off
Yeah.
when he got up. It was horrible.
And then he's screaming in pain, and he's like, I need something for the pain. And Johnny Knoxville's like, you got the pain pill card revoked, buddy. He's like, we got Tylenol for you. Then I died at that. That was amazing. Yeah. I think the Jackass friend group is what every guy our age aspired their friend group to be.
Yep.
Not doing Jackass stuff, but just being like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, even Wild Boys was fucking crazy.
Wild Boys was awesome. Was that when they had?
It was Pontius and Steve-O mostly.
That was when they did all that fucked up shit in India. A lot of that was in 3.5 and 2.5. Like all the wicked crazy shit they did.
They'd like let everything bite them and shit.
Yeah.
When you watched like Wild Boys, I'm like
how are they even allowed to do
that like random tribe in like Africa or Asia that they would go to?
Was freaky as shit.
And the guy would
like peeing in a cup and then drinking it and shit.
And I remember in the interview Steve-O was like, or Chris was like, yeah, we didn't want them to know how big the show was because we knew that they were going to go crazy. And he's like, but Steve-O told them immediately, it showed them where to find us on the internet. And they immediately just wanted to go hog wild. And they're like eating each other's shit and like raping each other or whatever, pissing on each other.
Yeah,
I would be
legit
fucking
scared.
classic. They weren't raping each other, I don't think. But the classic fucking clippers to the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
That one's awesome.
I'd be so mad if someone did that to me.
I would be mad right now because my hair is looking fucking fresh, bro.
Dude,
At any point,
I'd be so pissed, dude.
I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, Seth would go hog wild.
I'd be so pissed.
Oh my god. I'm swinging if that happens to me.
We did that to Jesse one time.
Good.
It wasn't even like that, but like he
has a fever. He's not listening to this episode.
He wanted to get he had like long hair at the time, and he wanted to get like a buzz. And so we just put it on a 0 and we just went, and it was gone. And at that point, you just have to shave all of it.
Yeah.
So he was super pissed. There's a video of it.
There is a video of it.
Because we shaved at one point, his whole left side of his head was bald, and then the other side was just long hair. It was fucking great, dude. We were like, dude, just leave it like that.
Do you think that's what fucked him up? Like
maybe that, dude. No one has that hairstyle though. I feel like he should have kept it.
Nah, I love you, Jesse.
I love Jesse. Every time I see him, he's always in such a great mood.
He's always spitting while he talks. It's great.
Yeah, dude. We actually have had him on here, haven't we? We had him the time we had no power.
Yeah, we had him on. It was half a dark episode. We were recording on a laptop battery.
Yeah.
Because we lost power.
Yeah. It was
that was
just
when I made my
audio
sister wicked mad. That was the Hitler mustache bit. But that was when I made my sister mad with the whole Dwight Howard thing. How like somebody TMZ reported, you know, Dwight Howard, the NBA player. He's good. He's just a really good player.
Sure.
He's TMZ released a report that they found him like hiring male to female transgender escorts, and it was like a huge deal. And I was just making jokes about it, and I made everybody mad. And then they brought me to Seth's. They dropped me off like an hour and a half early because I was just cracking jokes. It's pretty good, though. I don't have those opinions anymore, so I've grown as a person.
Well, I guess.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, you're largely the same.
I'm larger.
It's valid.
But did you guys ever watch
Sure didn't.
Dirty Sanchez, the British version of Jackass? Zach showed me Dirty Sanchez.
It sketches me out.
And it is fucking awful. There is literally a bit that they do where the fat guy on the show, they get him liposuction in Singapore. And then they play cards, and whoever loses has to drink some of his liposuction fat. That's literally a thing they do. And you watch the procedure and everything. You watch him get liposuction from this wicked, sketchy, like, country. And, yeah. Then they have, they have one wicked good one, which I wish they did on Jackass. So...
I'm watching Jackass.
One or two of the guys on the thing were wicked good at making websites and stuff, and he made this huge elaborate website to sign up to do these. It was like the most extreme Guinness World Records, and one of them was getting shot with the most amount of ping balls in under 60 seconds, and the record was like 200 or something. And they were like, if you do any of these, Guinness has to give you like a stipend. They have to pay you X amount of money. It was like $1,000 or something, £1,000. And I'm probably totally being hyperbolic, but either way, it makes it sound way cooler when I tell the story, even if I'm wrong. long story short, they're like, hey, we're going to do this fucking world record. And they have the guy line up and they pelt him with like 250 paintballs from like me to that wall away. Just destroying him. He's all cut up. He's all bruised, you know, and they're taking pictures, taking videos of it. And he literally calls his parents. And he goes, you guys won't believe this. I'm about to be in the Guinness World Record book. And then at the end of the episode, they admit to him that it was fake. Or at the end of the movie, they admit to him that it's fake the whole time. God. They let him go the entire recording length of the movie, which is like 2 years, thinking that this was a real record. And when they finally tell him that it was fake, amazing. There was one other one that was good that slipped my mind. But that one, the fucking paintballs, I mean, they lit him up for like 60 seconds straight. 5 guys shooting paintball guns at you that are full from like pretty much point blank range.
Dude, one of my favorite ones is the one where they have like the Valentine that's on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the boxing glove behind the fucking thing. That's so good. That's the best.
I love the one where they
The
had
hand.
Yes,
The hand
like
with-
it was like
He's carrying
the,
like soup and shit.
yeah. Why did we have you carry soup?
I love the
why
one
would you carry
in
soup?
Jackass 3.5 where they're on the they're on like the inflatable thing and it's covered in Vaseline and they have to like fight each other off. But Johnny Knoxville has a drone with a paintball gun on it and he's fucking shooting at everybody.
Yeah.
It was bowling. That's what it was. They were doing like bowling or something. They did.
How do you come up with all these ideas? It's like,
I was gonna say Reddit, but Reddit wasn't a thing back then.
Drugs.
well,
Yeah.
all of it started with
4chan.
like, it was all like Big Brother magazine and then CKY and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking like, dude, that was what I was gonna say. I actually saw Bam when we went to Philly for the hymn show with CKY and someone else played too. I can't remember who it was.
Coheed and Cambria.
No, it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, no.
Somebody opened for them,
It's not skater metal.
but it was cool because like they usually like in Philly you expect Bam to be there because it's it's where he lives.
Can you imagine if it was?
But it's like
Life would be so much different.
Coheed
If
Cambria was
if
skater
Coheed
metal.
and Cambria was what skater kids were listening to instead of like
some of them.
I was listening to
Blink
Coheed.
182. But no, like what if punk music didn't exist and you just had like
Punk is basically the skater. It was the skater sort of thing.
it just takes some time, a little bit.
That's like pop punk though. Like Jimmy Eat World's a little more pop punk. Like I'm talking like
day goes by glycerine and I don't have any reason to try Listerine or something. I don't know how it
Listerine.
goes. I was pretty spot on, right?
well no.
The Jarl music.
Yeah.
I
I'm
am a
thinking
king
more
of
like
Jarl, by the way.
Anarchy in the UK type of stuff. Like
the
old
Sex
school.
Pistols?
Old school punk, yeah.
Old school punk is dumb.
That's what skater music
Not a
was.
fan.
Like the song Institutionalized.
Uh-huh. That's what it was. Like that was like
That was a
kinda the-
Disturbed song, right? You're
No.
institutionalized. Institutionalized. Waiting your
All I
whole life for
wanted was
just
a
one.
Pepsi.
That's not
They
that's
wouldn't let me
Isn't that
have
called
it.
institutionalized?
No, that's stupefy.
Oh.
Institutionalized.
Been waiting
It's a couple
my-
more syllables. Tough one.
I find myself institutionalized. What's the time again?
Jake's over here living in 2030.
He's like making up alternate realities and shit.
Yeah.
That's where like that was punk. That was real punk. In Jake's reality, that was real punk.
Disturbed. They're like one of the I want to choose my words carefully so you guys don't make fun of me after I'm done talking.
It's gonna happen either way. Just
But they're like, out of all those K-rock, like Five Finger Death Punch, Papa Roach sort of bands, I feel like Disturbed is one of the ones that you can have pop up and you'll be like,
right.
instead of being like, shut this off.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
It really is a genre too. Like the
it's a weird genre. We talked about it with Brian a few episodes ago, where it's like, in every area in the country has their own K-rock.
Yeah.
Like it's like dad. It's not dad rock. It's like dad metal. It's like
It is.
it's like when your
appeal.
dad's like, I listen to some heavy shit, dude. Fucking Minutes to Midnight, Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Class of '86.
Yeah.
It's like, and when I really want to go hard, I pop in the Lamb of God. The Lamb of God is
Lamb of
pretty
God
heavy.
is good, but
Yeah, Lamb of God's
I love
great.
Lamb
but
of
they're-
God.
I hate
Lamb of
people-
God is the gateway to, like, that's sort of
It
the.
It's the stepping stone to heavier music.
Yeah, they're going. I'm listening to Lamb of God because I want to feel like I'm a metalhead.
that was the first really, really metal band I got into.
Slipknot was my first one.
Which one
and
was
then
Slipknot?
The one with like the 12
Like
guys that wear masks.
yeah, and then there was Korn.
Yeah.
Korn was garbage. Oh, Slipknot did Dead Memories in My Heart.
What was that you said before that?
Slipknot?
Corn being garbage?
Korn sucks, dude. You like Korn?
Korn's not.
Yeah.
Korn's not the best.
I don't like Korn at all.
I like corn a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the guys
Wait,
in
you
Korn.
like Korn, like, or KO backwards RN?
Yeah, that the band.
The band Korn.
Why
I'm
is
not a
the
fan
R-
of the vegetable. The band.
Wait,
I'm
did they
a
do
fan
Freak on a Leash?
Yeah.
Okay, they're okay.
Why is the R
am I
backwards?
thinking
Does
of?
anybody know why they put the R backwards?
Who am I thinking of? It's not Korn. And it's not Disturbed or Slipknot.
Linkin Park.
I'm not.
Limp Bizkit?
I'm Limp Bizkit is who I'm thinking of. I admittedly am
I'm
not.
trying to think of like 90s bands.
I'm not a huge fan of Linkin Park, but they're good. But I don't listen to them.
Limp Bizkit was the perfect band where you look at them and you're like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah, what is this?
Like, you got a dude on stilts with fucking creepy ass masks playing the bass, and then like a DJ over in the corner, and then you got Fred Durst up front as front
yeah,
man.
Fred
But
Durst.
he's
And
Fred
you're just
Durst,
like-
though. He's awesome.
It's like, what is this?
we
Like,
gonna-
this works. Like, what you're doing works, but like, what?
Yeah. Well, then you got like Insane Clown Posse, right?
Yeah, like I remember
Hollywood
listening to their
Undead.
music
Hollywood
at first.
Undead. Oh my
Like I
God.
remember listening to what were we just fucking talking about? Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
And I was like, okay, I like this. And then I saw like one of their music videos. I was like, that's what they look like.
Whoa.
I was like,
That's tough. That's
Yeah.
a tough look. It is a tough look.
all right.
I was shocked when they were all Puerto Rican too.
I'm like, why is one guy going for fucking death metal and the rest of you
I
look like
wonder-
you're in a rap group?
I wonder if they were Kiss fans.
Let's talk about Kiss for a second. We talked about bands. Leonard Skinner was the big one we talked about last time you were on. Dude, I don't understand Kiss. I
Me
know that they
neither.
were a big band and they had amazing shows.
Can I shake your hand real quick? Because I think Kiss is not a good band.
Well, Kiss
They're-
is definitely not.
They have some bangers, like I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. That's a good song. Guitar Hero 3 World Tour. It was like the third
really
song
though,
on the
like,
track.
It's not a great song.
That's like the
rock
Despacito
and
of our
roll
parents'
all night.
age.
It's
No,
not.
Don't Stop Believing is the Despacito.
Both of those songs were the Despacito of that.
Okay,
age.
can we
song,
talk about
though.
Journey too for a second?
Journey's good though.
Let's not.
I
Let's
like
just
Journey.
forget
Let's
that
just-
band exists. and
Okay,
move
so
on.
Let's cut that part out.
So
Kiss.
there's a new singer for Journey,
Yeah, it's the Filipino guy, isn't it?
and
Or is that Boston?
He's actually really good.
It was on Good Morning America, but when I was
No,
like,
Boston.
Does he actually
Boston-
make their songs
when I
better?
was like 13.
No, not well. No, not really.
Years ago.
But he sings like, as long as you can hit the notes, that's what matters.
yeah.
I think it was like a couple years ago. Drinking chocolate milk, watching Good Morning America. No,
Huh?
that was 11 years ago.
What was?
When Journey had for like one of their tours, because then either their singer died or he got kicked out. I remember it was Journey and Boston were both in the news around the same time because either one of them had their singer die and he got replaced by some guy from YouTube. He was like in a Boston cover band and he replaced the actual lead singer of Boston. Or that was Journey. I can't remember which one.
I love Boston though.
Boston's great.
Not a big Journey fan. Too much synthesizer for me.
Boston's okay. Like a lot of those bands that era, though, it felt like they had one or two songs that were big, and then
None of them were as fun to listen to as Billy Idol, though. Or Billy Joel.
Did you guys know that
Billy.
I thought that Jump by Van Halen was a Journey song up until like about 4 years ago.
Really?
Yep.
The thing that gives it away in that song is the guitar solo.
Yeah, and plus Van Halen, you always know if it's a Van Halen song because they say the title over and over and over and over and over again.
They do, yeah. That's actually correct.
Yeah. But I just
Van Halen's okay though.
beep beep beep.
Van Halen's cool because they had a lot of like at the time it was like for like more hardcore I don't know,
like hair metal fans.
Yeah, and it was a lot more like the guitar playing was a higher level too at the time.
Yeah, and also what I thought was really cool with Van Halen was that a few of their really, really good songs were covers that they just went crazy with. Like, You Really Got Me.
Yeah.
That's I didn't
Ain't
know
Talking About Love is a fucking great song.
Oh my god. Yeah, Van Halen's good.
Hot for Teacher.
Yeah. Spanish Fly. Like, holy fuck, Spanish Fly blows my mind every time I listen to it.
I left a message in a bottle. I left a message. I don't know what that song's called. And it might be Message in a Bottle.
No, that's
in a bottle.
No, that's by
that's by Sting and the Police.
No. It's a Van. I left a message in a bottle. I left a message. Into the mercy of the sea. Ooh, stormy weather. Oh yeah. Up for Breakfast is a good song.
Yeah, we can just glaze over that one real quick.
Hang on, no, Message in a Bottle is a fucking Van Halen song.
Is it? I don't know that one. Eddie Van Halen, dude.
Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. So good.
Where'd you get feels so good from? What, Message in a Bottle?
Oh, I'll send them. It's one.
Oh, so
it's the chorus. It's the chorus.
It's the chorus, so it's got to be the song's name, right?
That's what I thought Van Halen's deal was. That my dad did too.
It kind of is for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what band I am really mixed with? There's two of them because to me, they both encapsulate that feeling. When you listen to these two bands, you know that you're like listening to like late 70s, early 80s, and it's AC/DC and Aerosmith.
Okay, if you were gonna say Pink Floyd, I was gonna walk out that door.
You think I was ever
when
gonna
you get on one of those tangents?
You think I was ever going to discredit Pink Floyd in a sentence?
I might have said this before, but I still maintain that if AC/DC called me today and needed a drummer, I could do it.
You don't play drums.
Yeah.
You don't have to play drums. You just need to be able to go,
Yeah.
does it, and then, maybe like a little fill every once in a while. Little crash cymbal.
No, I could get into Pink Floyd, but we won't. But I started talking about it, so we will.
I was just kidding.
But no, Pink Floyd is
What if it was like a different color Floyd though? Would you still like him as much?
What if it was Blue Floyd?
Like a green Floyd.
No, because the name for Pink Floyd, I've been drinking vodka and cider. The name for Pink Floyd came from two bands that the members were in separately before they came together, and one was called like Floyd Harrison and something else. I don't know.
What about
Something
Chartreuse Floyd?
Oh right, yeah.
Crimson Floyd would be sick.
That would be kind of cool.
What about a cyan Floyd? Or like
Cyan
an
Floyd?
aquamarine Floyd?
Or Beige Floyd?
Magenta,
That's cool, yeah.
Beige Floyd.
Or like an off-white Floyd. That'd be kind of sick.
Rye Floyd.
Off-white is a weird color. Why do they call it off-white?
Eggshell.
Floyd.
I got a drink to that.
Eggshell is eggshell like a blue?
It's like a business card.
That's Robin's egg. Robin's
Eggshell
egg
is
blue.
like the color of your walls.
That's off-white, dude.
Potato. Tomato.
Yeah. It's a white.
What is off-white exactly, though? That's what I need to figure out.
It's off-white.
I know, but it's not.
Like if you take,
everything's off-white.
If you take white, just go to it. It's like Italians versus like the British. Like Italians are white, but
Well, off-white is also a brand, isn't it?
probably. Or you're thinking of Vans Off the Wall.
No, I think off-white is like a clothing company.
But I like Pink Floyd a
here
lot.
it is.
Everyone knows this. They're great.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah, it's a company. fashion, dude.
I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's because I was raised on it, because it's my dad's favorite band. I don't know what it is, but there's something about how no matter how many times I've listened to the same album, it still feels like I'm listening to it for the first time.
Yeah, that's
when
what
I
it
like
is.
sit down and listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just timeless, I guess is the word for it.
Yeah, I'm that way about any Leonard Skinner, Rolling Stones,
Bob
because that's all
Seger.
my grandpa used to listen to when I was little.
Oh, Seeger's cool.
Bob Seger's so good. Dude,
Creedence,
that is
like
CCR is so good.
Yeah.
Modern. It's a question I ask people at work. You guys listen to Bob Seger?
Yeah, it's like it's some of the that's
You
the
guys
stuff
listen
that's
to Billy Joel?
Yeah.
Billy Joel, yeah. Bob Seger, probably. I just could not tell you a Bob. Like, I couldn't name a Bob
If
Seger
I
song.
could play you a bunch of Bob Seger songs, and
I would
You
recommend.
would
That's how it
recommend,
is
yeah.
with me with Led Zeppelin. I still discover Led Zeppelin songs that I had no idea were
Sure.
Zeppelin songs.
Well, those are also like tunes that like you can play at like a family reunion, right?
or like just hanging out.
And like
It's good
everyone
atmosphere.
for the most part is gonna be like, okay, I dig this song.
Nothing's better than getting drunk and listening to classic rock.
No, they're literally. Thank you. There literally is
Nothing's
nothing
better.
like.
True.
I love. I went to a barbecue a few weeks ago, and we were listening to like house music and techno and a little bit of rap and reggae and stuff. But as soon as it switched to just like it was like it was a Pandora station for like fucking CCR or Jimi Hendrix or something, or the Doors. That's what it was. It was a fucking Pandora station for the Doors. That's it, dude.
That could give you a lot of different shit. though.
Exact. And
Yeah.
I think we were talking about the Doors before. I get it now. They're pretty awesome.
They are pretty great.
There is not a single band I've ever listened to that sounds even remotely close to them at all. Like,
No.
Sure.
they're so weird.
Yeah. They're like,
They're not like technically sound or anything. But
they're not
like,
smooth jazz, but they're kind of smooth
I think
jazz.
Yeah.
what we were more confused about was the Who, right?
The Who I don't understand at all.
I didn't really get that whole craze either. The Who was on the same level as Aerosmith for me. I was never an Aerosmith fan.
No, Aerosmith's got a couple of songs that are kind of cool, but like they're overplayed.
Yeah.
It seems like
And Steven Tyler is just so fucking ugly.
he's a weird.
I
fella.
think what I like with Aerosmith is that
I love Walk
their
This Way,
early
though.
stuff, their early stuff was really good. Just like with Queen. Like Queen is pretty good all around, but their early stuff is really good.
Like a
But
lot of
not-
people like their slower songs.
For
I'm not
Queen?
into those. What?
For Queen?
No, for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
like Dream On, right?
Yeah, or
Dream
like
On is-
I don't know what song that is.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But like the slower ones, not as much into. But like
Falling.
like
Ballads.
Walk This Way, like the Walk This Way and Run DMC remix. I still go hard to that to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Love in an Elevator. Fine. Fine.
The weird thing about classic rock though is your phone's going off.
Oh,
The weird thing about
Great.
classic
Time to
rock
take
is
my
like
pill.
classic rock is
pill for
a
it's a chill pill.
it's like a time genre though. It's not really a genre itself. It's a time, like it's almost an era.
I'm gonna be all right there,
Did that
champ.
get picked up by the microphone? I just smacked my tooth with the
Oh man.
I don't think it did.
That was like an audible bonk, like in my head. I'm gonna set that
Too
down.
funny.
But I was listening to classic rock radio at work, right? Like it was on like the speakers or whatever.
Like 105.5 or like
It was on like iHeartRadio or some random
word,
shit.
yeah.
And
Maybe that's what it was instead of Pandora too.
so like it was playing Green Day on classic rock radio.
that
makes me feel really old.
Weird.
Yeah, so
That
like
makes me feel really
and
old.
that's what's really interesting to me is like it does have to move up, right? At some point.
Yeah. Some
It-
of our
because
shit is now
when do you
classic
start
rock.
calling something a classic rock, like classic
Well,
rock?
and I think you
because
can.
it is a genre,
Yeah,
right? But it's
yeah.
also a time
Yeah.
Right now, it seems to be primarily 80s.
You could make
would
the
think.
argument that Green Day counts because they're already in the Hall of Fame too.
Well, Nirvana they play on classic rock radio as well as
that's true.
as K rock.
I
I like
never big
Nirvana,
on,
but I hate that it's classic. It's
I
so
was
much
never big on
different from
Nirvana.
It is.
and I guess that's what your argument is. Like bands like Nirvana and Green Day and like Soundgarden are so much more different from like the 80s.
Right, but if you want it to be classic, like it should just be classic songs.
I think classic rock the cutoff should be Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Once you get past that, you're not classic anymore. Chronologically.
Yeah, but then it's like weird because.
But I guess
like,
Black Keys, like the Black Keys and the White Stripes are a modern band, but they have a classic rock approach.
Yeah, and also in
They're so
40
good, too.
years.
Black Keys are
I
awesome.
fucking love the Black Keys.
But like in 40 years,
just like with them, their old
what's-
shit is the fucking best.
What's classic rock in 40 years though?
I don't know. I won't be here.
Classic rock in 40 years will probably be like
Like,
fucking
is
the
it
stuff that
Atmosphere?
we hear on K Rock now, like
Maybe.
Seether, 3 Days Grace, Disturbed, all that shit, along with all
Hollywood
the shit from the
Undead.
90s, 80s, 70s.
Dude,
If
the
Hollywood
day-
Undead becomes classic rock, that's when I'm putting a 12-gauge shotgun in my mouth and
Dude,
pulling the
we
trigger.
will put our heads side by side and just together
Please.
into
It
bliss.
might not work that well for the second person.
You can be second.
The second I
Well, what if
switch to
we're- what if- well, wait,
105.5
what if-
and I
what-
hear everywhere I go, bitches always know. It's
Charlie
I'm
Sheen has
driving
got
off
a
the bridge.
weenie that he loves to show, bitch.
Yeah,
We
I
both
don't know.
we both had Hollywood Undead phases because we're both Suicide Boys fans.
Yeah,
I think
That's what happens.
it is.
Wow.
If you liked Hollywood Undead, you like Suicide Boys now.
And I regret that. Even though I love the Suicide Boys.
I love Suicide Boys.
They're so good.
Ghost Main.
Yep. Not a fan of Puya, though. Solo. I like Puya with other people. Did you listen to Scrim's new album? You totally did, obviously.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So good.
don't be called scrim though. It's kind of a gross
Scrimshaw.
word.
You know what a scrimshaw is?
Scrimshaw.
Like a rickshaw?
No,
I know what-
scrimshaw.
What's a debrickashaw?
Ferguson?
Brickashar
He
Marcus.
was a left tackle for the Jets. A future Hall of Famer. Shout out to Paul Esden,
fuck
who
is that?
doesn't listen to
Brickashaw
this.
Marcus.
Debrickashaw. Don't be called that either.
Well, that's
for
like
sure.
the rap. Like, I did not like
Don't
the
have that.
Suicide Boys at all until Stubba and Dan forced me to listen to them one night. And Dan sent me a bunch of their songs, and I was like, okay. So I like put them on YouTube, and then it auto plays all their music videos. And I was like, holy shit, this shit is this stuff. It was just for some reason it resonated with me, and then I did a deep dive, like fucking SoundCloud deep, like. And I think what I appreciate the most, I've shown Seth a few Suicide Boys songs, but I think what I appreciate the most out of them is that they literally started off just like making songs therapeutically for themselves and put them online, and then all of a sudden they're like selling out arenas or not arenas, but they're selling out shows, and like they played in
small
like
clubs.
well, they played the PlayStation Arena in Times Square. They
Oh,
were
I've-
their first ever show,
I've been there.
and that
crazy.
I saw Iced Earth.
yeah, and the Suicide Boys were their first ever show.
Dude, that trip was crazy. We saw Iced Earth, and then the next day we saw Porcupine Tree at Radio City.
That's crazy.
Ooh,
So maybe
Porcupine Tree.
Suicide Boys wasn't their first show, but I know it was a big fucking thing.
It's been so long since I've listened to that band.
And I still have the
Porcupine
that
Tree?
right there.
Yeah.
Radio City.
I didn't know you liked Porcupine Tree.
I love Porcupine Tree.
The poster right there. We got it from Radio City.
Oh shit!
Nah, I'm just kidding.
It's an exclusive
Oh, I
poster.
was gonna
No
say
one
we've
else
had
has that.
plenty of
I know.
talks.
I still remember when we first started hanging out in college, and I got control of the speaker, and I was like, Zemiah, do you like Porcupine Tree?
You can't
and
give him the
He
speaker.
looks at me and he goes, dude, you and I were the only people in high school that listened to Porcupine Tree, and I was like, yeah, dude. So you like him or not?
So is that a yes or?
And then immediately everybody's like, what are we listening to? And then 30 seconds later, they're like, all right. Porcupine
Well,
Tree.
it's also weird because like some of their albums are like really slow. Like Stupid Dream is very weird,
Yeah.
and then you got like Light Bulb Sun that's really weird, and then you got ones that like In Absentia has like some songs that are more like
Well,
mainstream-ish.
Anesthetize is like literally like a 28-minute song, right?
That's probably my favorite album.
Oh, yeah.
That whole album is fucking amazing.
I remember Wes gave...
Fear of a Blank
Wes
Planet.
burned me copies of Porcupine Tree, and it was In Absentia, Deadwing, and In Absentia, Deadwing, and Lightbulb Sun. He gave me those CDs.
The Incident is really good, too.
The Incident is good.
It's long, very long.
I think Deadwing is my favorite. Because that was the first one I bought on my own. Like, Wes burned me the copy of Deadwing, and then I went out and I bought the actual CD. Mm-hmm. Even though the burned copy was literally the same thing. Like,
right. I still have my CD case of like old CDs and like burned CDs that are just white. I have Necrophagist like just albums burnt for no reason. It's like like I don't know, I wouldn't need them now. There's no reason to have them, but I still have them just like for, I don't know, nostalgic
you just pop them
reasons.
in the car when your phone dies or something.
And it's like weird CDs that like other people burnt for me, like Mars Volta or like some weird fucking bands that like no one really paid any attention to.
My fucking God. I have a CD of, I think it was the band Lightning Bolt's first album. Have you ever heard of the band Lightning Bolt?
No.
No, was that like after Thundershock and Thunderbolt broke up, they created Lightning Bolt?
Kind of. It's only
there was
two
Thunder
guys.
Wave too.
There was also Thunder Wave.
Yeah.
It's two guys. It's a bassist and a drummer, and their whole gimmick is they never play on a stage. They always play in the middle of the crowd.
That's sick.
Yeah, like if there is a stage that's provided for them, they're like, no, we're gonna set up right in the middle of everybody. And constantly, you'll watch videos of their shows. People are knocking over the guy's cymbals and shit. He doesn't care. He just keeps fucking going crazy.
Did you ever listen to Royal Blood?
No.
You would really like them. Have you listened to Royal Blood? You would also really like them. It's a bassist and a drummer. That's why I got that.
Those are kind of cool though. Like I like when they exclude certain instruments.
Strangely heavy, and
it's
the guy plays on like
experimental.
He plays on like a 7-string bass, and then there's the drummer, but they both do vocals together.
Well, but you also get a lot of bands that are like bass heavy, which is very weird. Like Rush is pretty bass heavy.
Yeah, but okay,
for the most part. Like,
but
I mean, Geddy Lee. That's Geddy Lee.
Let's not deny.
So is Primus.
That
sure,
but let's not deny that Rush and Primus aren't two of the greatest bands of all time.
Primus is such a weird band. I was talking to my buddy about this the other day.
So
I'm like,
weird, dude.
what even kind of music is Primus?
You don't play it at a party, that's for sure.
No, you don't. Because like, there's such a weird range of shit. Like from all the way from Jerry was a race car driver to like Mr. Crinkle.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what is this?
Too many
John the
puppies.
Yeah, too many puppies.
Too many puppies.
Well, the reason they were different is because they use a lot of chord structures. They use a lot of chord structures that don't make any sense, like a lot of clashing sounds, like clashing chords. So, like, music theory wise, they kind of don't give a fuck. They just kind of go like, oh well. I don't know. I'm going to put my fingers like this, I guess, and then see how that sounds.
Jerry was a race car driver. Oh, it's such a good song. I remember
Tony Hawk
the first
Pro Skater,
time
dude.
I heard
it. Was also an ATV Off-Road Fury.
That was the first time I heard it was ATV
because
Off-Road
in
Fury.
ATV Off-Road Fury for the PS2, you could go to the pause menu and pick the song you listen to. And the only two songs I listened to were Jerry Was a Race Car Driver and Them Bones. Them Bones was
no, it was Them Bones, not Spoon Man. I don't think Spoon Man was it.
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains is a band that, man, that's a band that,
dude, Alice in Chains has a lot of wicked good fucking songs.
They do.
They're I think
Wood is like one of my favorite songs ever. I think that's a wicked good song.
There's like 3 bands, I guess 4. I don't count the Chili Peppers because the Chili Peppers are their own thing, but I guess I should because I'm focusing on bands that blew up in the 90s.
Chili Peppers are like surfer rock.
IMO. Somewhat.
IMO.
I love the Chili Peppers.
I love the Chili Peppers.
Foo
too.
Fighters.
They do have a very, especially when they got really big, like in like in the noughts, like the early 2000s, they had a really big California
The
vibe.
knots. Is that what they call it?
Oh my god, dude! I think honestly, seeing them live was the turning point in my life. Besides, like, you know, my mother dying.
That's when it all changed.
Like, that was about it. Mm-hmm. That was just crazy. It was I don't know. There's something about the Chili Peppers that, like, even their really sad songs just make you feel good. Like Under the Bridge.
Dude, there was one. So Californication, every time I hear that song, it reminds me of a giant panic attack I had on marijuana. I smoked way too many bongs. I think I was with Cody Stewart. And he's the best person to be around when you're having a problem.
He's the best person to be around in general. I'm going to text him right now.
I had a wicked panic attack and freaked out, and then I went outside and I was like, I gotta go. We gotta leave. He actually drove my dad's car to his apartment till I, like, fucking calmed down, basically. He was wicked good. Like, he's a great... Dude, if you need, like, a sitter, if you're gonna trip or something, he's the guy to have.
Well, I saw Cody... we went and saw Queens of the Stone Age together, and then we saw Royal Blood. Wes went with us. We actually stayed at Wes's house, and it was so fun. Like, because this is a guy that I've known for most of my life, but I've never had any one-on-one interaction with. And he picks me up in his car. We're driving from Oswego to Rochester, solid hour-and-a-half trip. Literally nothing but laughs, nothing but gaffs. Like, it was just, and it's like, dude, why are we not hanging out all the time?
He's so easy to be around.
He's like literally the Mr. Poopy Butthole of my friend group. Like, I don't have a single bad memory with Cody. Like, he's seriously,
yeah,
like,
he's very, very easy to get along with.
And he doesn't have social media, but he still also finds a way to get in contact with me when I need him the most. And it's like I'll randomly get a phone call from him. He's like, "Hey, man, I was just hanging out with my buddies. We were talking about you. How you doing?" And it's like,
yeah, he's not one of the guys that, like, won't answer if you call
my god,
him,
he's the
thing.
best. I'm texting him right now. I'm gonna tell him how much we love you.
That's one of the things. Like, there's a lot of people that will do that. Like, they just won't answer at all. And the problem is, I won't answer my phone. I just won't. Mm-hmm. I will, however, if you call me, I'm gonna be like, why didn't you text me? Because that's how we do this now. Yeah, it's 2020.
No, I'm like that with everybody except Vinny. Vinny and I have to talk on the phone because whenever,
yeah, because Vinny's like freaking out and he's crying and shit, and he's like,
he's never usually crying.
Well,
but, like, no,
it's
on
usually, the borderline though.
It's usually close. Like, it's. I'm not even gonna get into it, but Vinny and I call each other at opportune moments, and it's always hilarious.
Dude, you guys could be butt buddies, like, easy if you wanted to, right?
Like,
yeah, if you guys just decided
we could be if we wanted to.
Yeah,
if we
Me and Jake could just make out right now if we wanted to.
Well, yeah, that's a decision.
Anything's possible.
That's a decision you guys would have to make amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm not really horny right now.
That wasn't the question.
I mean, we can wrap this up if you guys want to.
Do we have to wrap it up for us to do that?
If you want to do, well, I don't know. It seems.
I mean, it would be the first interracial relationship.
Interracial podcast kiss.
The interracial pod. Yeah, it would be like the Brady Bunch. You know, the Brady Bunch was the first.
I feel like people don't kiss enough on this show. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we don't kiss enough people.
I feel like I have kissed someone on the show.
That's what we should do for all of our guests from now on, though, is just kiss them.
That's a market you're just not. Nobody's cornering at the moment.
Well, we already got the Puerto Rican market.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
we're number one.
We're number one amongst Puerto Ricans.
Wow.
Which is fucking insane.
It's pretty crazy.
Did you know that?
No.
It's fucking wild. We could also corner the kissing market.
Right.
The one guy that's listening to podcasts in Puerto Rico is just mainlining all your shit.
Mm-hmm. He's like jacking off. Like,
he still doesn't have power. He uses his minimum allotted amount of power a day just to listen to us talk about fucking Mass Effect and video.
It's a tough demo to please.
Next day he goes to work. He has all these new opinions. It's like,
It's just our opinions, though.
it is. It's like, he's like,
And his workers are just like the people, co-workers, just like,
he goes to work the next morning and goes, I could play drums for AC/DC.
He's like, you know what? I kind of get the Doors. I kind of get it.
I think I get it now.
He just starts telling our stories as his own. He becomes the most interesting man in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. He's like, dude, one time I had a panic attack. Cody Stewart was there. I almost said Tony Stewart. Dude, if Tony Stewart was there, then I would have freaked out even more. Like, what the fuck? How do you calm down from a panic attack when Tony Stewart is there, dude?
Yeah, because you're like, Tony, where are the keys?
Yeah, like you're thinking he's going to hit you, dude.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah.
That was a weird situation. He definitely hit that guy for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Wait, hang on. We actually, when we were hanging out, we watched that.
Yeah, I think the last podcast I was on sitting with you guys, we talked about Tony Stewart hitting the guy.
Yeah, well, we talked about NASCAR for quite a bit because
did, yeah.
for some reason, you and I love NASCAR.
For some reason.
It's weird.
It is kind of, why is liking NASCAR weird? It is kind of weird, right?
Well, I mean, I feel like if you took like mine and Zemiah's entire friend group from like high school and OCC and everything else, and you were like, pick two guys that really like NASCAR, we would be the last two people you'd pick.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, you would think it's like the dude with the dipper, like fucking the dude always.
I feel like if any I feel like if any two people that we are like mutually friends with like NASCAR, I feel like one of them should definitely be John. For some reason, I look at him and I'm like, NASCAR. Maybe it's because I don't know. I haven't seen him in like 4 years. I got banned.
Some people do have a NASCAR look, I guess.
I like NASCAR. NASCAR's back.
And if they drink Bush,
Dan,
they probably like NASCAR.
Dan. So Dan and John are the NASCAR fans.
That is a weird thing. Like that does go hand in hand
Drinking
for some
Bush?
reason. Yeah.
I don't.
And maybe in like hunting. I think if you were a hunter, you probably drink Bush.
My dad was a hunter. He drank Bush and he watched NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It is a very
bring him in, boys.
I don't know.
What is the thing? What is Bush like? What is their demographic?
It's water. It's primarily water.
Like
I think
drink
they feel
it,
like they're hydrating and getting drunk at the same time.
It's not great, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's not good. It was all right.
It's like better than Coors. Right. I don't know anybody like I don't.
It's
not
like Miller Lite, like it's
Miller Lite.
Miller High Life is the champagne.
I've never had Miller Light, Miller High Life.
High Life's okay.
All right.
I think Coors Light's better than any kind of Miller.
So, do you know anybody that drinks Coors exclusively though?
Nobody. I've never bought Coors before.
I've
never bought Coors before.
Not asking you.
Oh, you weren't?
I'll drink Coors Light.
I love Miller High Life, man. In the bottle? Bro.
Dude,
it's nasty.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone drink.
It's not as good as PBR though.
Fucking Coors Heavy though. No one drinks regular Coors.
I don't think
it's always
there is
Coors
regular
Light.
Coors.
There is. It's like a weird like off-white. It's like
there's
off-white.
regular Michelob. Did you know that? Like there's a Michelob that's not Ultra.
Oh, I thought it was only Ultra.
No, there's Michelob Light.
It does make sense because they would why would they call it Ultra if there's not a base version?
Yeah, but you never see the light anywhere. The only place I can ever find Michelob Light is this weird fucking gas station out in Fairhaven or at Big M.
Mm.
I didn't know Coors had.
Yeah, it's like a brownish yellow weird.
That's weird. Why would anybody drink that?
Yeah, I've never seen anyone
Coors
drink
Banquet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the whole thing with Coors Light is that you can be as cold as the Rockies, which is like, do you need the beer to change color for you to know if it's cold or not?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a gimmicky thing, but
I mean, it is a pretty cool gimmick. I'm not gonna lie, and they do have a good color palette on the can. It's red, white, and blue.
And it had that
with
one
the Rockies.
dude. It had that one guy. What the fuck's his name? The dude with the mustache, who's a fucking legend, and I can't think of his name.
John
that did
Waters?
the commercials. He has a wicked low voice. He was in The Ranch.
Oh, fucking Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, yes. They had him do the commercials, and then everybody's
he
like, I
wasn't-
want that beer. I need it.
He was on the ranch, but he was also Tombstone.
Yes.
By
that's
the
correct.
by. Fucking Christ.
Yeah. That's the most recent thing I've
You
seen.
know what is honestly bad, though? Unless it's free. I don't mind Bud Light, but Bud Heavy
Shock Top?
No, absolutely
cannot
not.
do.
Oh,
Cannot do.
I drank it a lot in college.
I can drink Bud Light all day. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But as soon as you have red Budweiser,
Really?
yeah, I'm not a fan.
I
Like I
it
said,
'cause
unless they're
it's-
free.
I don't mind it because it's almost a light beer already.
No.
Like it's
I
almost.
think it's crazy that Budweiser is the highest selling beer in America.
well, it looks cool. Like if you think
It is a good logo.
it looks cool. Like the red and white is cool looking.
Kind of, yeah.
Like the if
Love
you
when
see,
they called it America for a year. Remember that?
oh yeah, they did do that. But if you see like beer in a cartoon, a lot of times they'll draw a white and red can. Like that's kind of like an iconic
Yeah.
like
Duff.
beer. Like
Isn't Duff beer red and white from The Simpsons?
yeah.
it might be.
But
It's like a red and tan, kind of.
Pawtucket Patriot Ale is Sam Adams. That's the
Yeah.
beer from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Sam Adams is okay.
Eh.
It's not.
Sam
I mean, I
Adams
would.
is
Select kinds of Sam.
I would drink
is okay.
regular Sam Adams over all the beers we just discussed just now.
Their winter
Just
lager,
now, like not over fucking Sierra Nevada.
They're like
their-
a worse version of Yingling.
They I like their seasonal stuff though. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
not good. I don't like Yingling that much.
Yingling's okay.
I like Yingling.
Heineken is great.
I love Heineken.
An ice cold Heineken, I can do. Remember when in college when we used to get the Heineken mini kegs?
Mm-hmm.
That was
I
the
forgot
best.
about those. Those exist.
Yeah, it's what? It's 24 beers or 18 beers in one
That was
30.
30. It
Maybe
was a
it's-
little over 30. It
was like 32 beers, maybe.
Yeah.
Those were sick. Especially when we finish them, we just throw them at each other.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
You know what made me sad was when they redesigned the blue light can. I liked the blue with the mountains in the back and like the grass on
And
it.
the
It just
leaf.
looked comforting. And now
Oh.
it's just like a white, shitty, just plain ass logo. Like like
Yeah.
blue, like Bud Light. Bud Light's just a blue can. white
However,
letters.
I will go back to my original statement saying that Labatt Blue is my favorite of the giant.
Oh yeah, my favorite mainstream beer is Labatt Blue Light.
And it's crazy because you can't get Labatt Blue down south.
It's
Down
blows
south,
my
it's
mind.
Land Shark. Land Shark is the big one down
Well, it's
south.
like if you did a
Land
taste
Shark
test.
is Corona though.
Exactly.
If
There's
you
a lot
did,
of there's a lot of Spanish people down south.
I think if you did a taste test with all of them, the most distinct taste is definitely Labatt. Like,
Yeah,
it
well, it's a
has
pilsner.
different- yeah, it has a
It's different. There's not a lot of pilsners. Like Goose Island has a wicked good one that Wes and I tried, and it was a Goose Island pilsner, and it was like 5.5 or 6% or whatever. But it was just so. It was citrusy, but not too citrusy, and then it also just had like a really clean, crisp
Yeah.
like there's no aftertaste. It's like you get all the flavor, and then it's just water.
That's the like crisp is the only way to explain like a really good pilsner. Just like when you crack open a blue light and just
Yeah.
that first hit, you're just like, oh.
Oh
yes.
yeah, there's like I don't know though. With any drink, it's like an ice cold beverage at any point in time is fucking amazing.
I don't think there are a few moments in a man's life that he feels more complete than after doing yard work all day and cracking a light beer out of a cooler.
Right.
That is, if they made a drug like that, I would have overdosed and died back in 2016 or 15.
Yeah, and you like drink
know what
half.
year
You
it
drink
was.
like half the can on the first. As soon as you open it, you take that chug, and it's the half. The
Oh
can.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then the rest of it, you kind of milk it a little bit.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, I'm halfway
See,
done.
I like that's why I like vodka, because this was $4.16,
It's almost too much.
and I just want to get drunk.
Right.
I'm usually looking for a buzz when I drink. But
If I'm
going out
drinking-
to a
These are
bar,
really good,
I'll get
too.
drunk.
When I go out to the bar, I'm a big G&T guy.
I just feel
Guinness
peer
guy.
pressured to get drunk whenever I go out to the bar.
I wouldn't want to drink Guinness at the bar. It's too heavy. I think Guinness to me is a with a meal sort of beer.
I'm not a fan of Guinness.
It's very heavy.
It's very heavy. Like I don't like drinking a beer and feel like I just ate breakfast.
I like it because like if I eat a whole fucking steak and then I drink a Guinness, I'm just like so full for like 18 hours. And that's pretty manly.
I really like Natural Light Natter Days.
Those are okay in my eyes.
I thought they were really good. And then
And you were wrong. And you found out you were wrong.
I found out that the whole enjoyment of that was the idea of having a strawberry lemonade beer, but they're only like 4%. They're like a Seagram's Escape.
Yeah.
And it's like you can spend, like for me, would you rather spend $5 on 6 beers that taste good but don't get you drunk, or would you rather spend $5 on 6 beers that taste okay and do get you drunk, which is PBR? Because I do like PBR. There's something weird and nostalgic about it. I feel like I don't know. There's something weird because Pabst Blue Ribbon is just that. They don't make. Well, they have Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee beer.
Yeah.
The coffee. I heard it's amazing. I heard it's really good. I'm never gonna try it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it to try it. You know.
Yeah.
But if I went to like somebody's house and they're like, "Hey, try this," I'll be like, "Okay." But there's something weird about PBR. It's just a nice finish, and it's got a nice texture.
It's a bit skunky.
It's a bit skunky,
but it's
not as skunky
bad.
as Stella.
I like Stella.
I do like Stella too, but Stella fucking...
Have you ever had Stella Cidre? Or Cidra?
Yeah. But I look at the ABV, so I buy Woodchuck instead.
Ugh.
I also like Angry Orchard.
Woodchuck just... all those fucking... Like, Angry Orchard, Woodchuck, Not Your Father's, they all taste fucking disgusting.
Woodchuck was really good, and then they got bought out by another company. And then they rebranded, and now they're not as good.
Just tastes like syrup in my eyes.
How much wood do they chuck? You know what I mean? That's what I really want to know. Those Geico commercials have been around for way too long. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, the caveman. Did you guys remember when the Geico caveman had his own show?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
I do.
Why?
Those were dark times.
I was just thinking about that.
You don't want to have that.
Was
Who
that
signed
during-
off on that?
Was that during the Bush administration?
It had to have been. Trump would never allow that.
In the freecreditreport.com song.
Yeah.
That's not even a website anymore.
Dude, the J.G. Wentworth commercials, though, they get stuck in my head, and I get so pissed. I get pissed.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now.
Call J.G.
Don't do it because it will get stuck in my head. It's going to get stuck in my head, though, so don't do that.
877 cash now.
You know what I like? Hurt in a car, call William Attar. 444-4444.
But that's the thing, right?
We're the heavy hitters, Alexander and Catalano.
But what they're shooting for is you to remember that.
Yeah, but they gotta say it 6 times throughout their entire commercial. Mm-hmm. They're just like, and just remember, it's 444-4444. Again, it's 444-4444. One last time, it's 444-4444.
How do you even forget that though? Right? Like it's all fours.
You press one button.
There's 7 fours, so like.
What if you had 8? Like 8
then
fours.
you get a fucking dial tone because it doesn't call anybody.
Yeah, then you got the wrong number.
Do you guys remember? I'm attorney Martin J. Rothschild.
Yup.
Yeah. They're a tough law firm fighting for your rights.
Fighting for your rights. And then he fucked kids.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think he was involved with Epstein and all those guys.
Oh, no, that was like before Epstein.
No, he probably was, though.
Well, he's a Rothschild.
Rothschild law firm, the tough law firm, fighting for your rights.
Yep. Because that was always on when you were sick from school. It was always the commercial that was on when you were watching Maury and Jerry Springer and Judge Mathis.
Yep, and all like the the Medicaid commercials and shit like that.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Well, it's for the the middle, like the old people that are still just at their house, daytime TV.
I remember when I was a little kid going over my grandma's every single day when I was younger.
It was the Bush administration, by the way. The Geico Caveman show was during the Bush administration. So
how did you find that?
I just Googled it.
What administration was the Geico?
Such a strange question.
It was 2007. George Bush was still president, so I pegged it down and round.
What about
what goes around comes around? I don't know why. Buzz Ballads.
That's another commercial that is on there, dude. You don't see that now. That's what I call music commercials anymore, though.
Is Kids Bop still a thing?
Yep,
it probably is.
It is.
Right? They got to be on 20.
I only know that because Ashley works at Little Luke's, and
I thought you were gonna say Kids Bop.
No,
she works at Kids Bop.
She's like, I've just been listening to Kids Bop all day. I'm like, that's still a thing.
How do you decompress from that? Do you listen to like Burzum or something?
She just watches Hamilton again.
Well,
again.
Well, I just don't get the appeal of Kids Bop, right? Like, you could just listen to the actual songs instead of listening to kids sing it.
Isn't it like 2.5 hours long?
Yeah.
So every day she goes up from work, she just throws on Hamilton.
You have no idea what my life is like, dude.
Wait.
You can hang out with me.
All right.
Is Hamilton a movie?
It is a musical.
Right, it's a musical, but
it's on Disney Plus.
It's a musical about Alexander Hamilton, where the entire cast is pretty much the entire cast, except for like one guy is black, and the entire thing is rapped.
Is it good?
I don't like it.
How do you watch?
It's bad then.
The whole.
This
thing?
is the guy to know.
I don't fucking like it. I don't like most musicals. I was in a lot of them as like in high school because it was
but you got some pretty good pussy.
It was like either be in a musical or be in theater club, which is like, all right, everyone goes to the musical, but you go to the theater club show, there's like worse. 4 people in the audience.
You could have been like the stage crew.
I'm dressed like them today.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was really cool that your skin matched your pants. That was sweet.
Yeah,
dude, I would be the one stage guy that just wears all white.
I'm gonna get canceled soon.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just splashed out my eyes. I was just thinking about I was thinking of. Wait, what did you say?
Bouncing all over the place. I would be the stage crew guy, right? That wears all white clothes.
So
in blackface,
super obvious.
You're in blackface.
Well, I don't know about that.
So they're like, oh, is that Hamilton?
No, I don't know about
that. Must be Hamilton. What a good guy, helping set up the stage for himself.
I don't know about
Zemiah comes out. They can't tell the difference because they're all Republicans from Oswego County.
And the shittiest part is I fucking hate Hamilton. And then I'll go to work and I'll sit there and like subconsciously I'll start singing one of the fucking songs to myself because Ashley's always fucking playing it.
Every time I go to work, all my coworkers talk to me about is Hamilton and Black Panther and Red Tails. I don't understand it.
It's not.
Those 3 things. That's what you thought I was going to say?
No. I thought
very
it was
specific.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from.
Black Panther, Red Tails, and Hamilton.
And Over the Hedge.
I don't understand your logic.
What's next? The Dixie Chicks? Let's throw something else random.
Mulholland Drive. Where's that guy in the diner?
What a weird. I don't understand your train of thought here.
Yeah.
Train of Thought was a pretty good album by Dream Theater. Wait, circumventing. Do you listen to Dream Theater? I know you do.
I listen to some Dream. I'm not a gigantic Dream Theater fan. I like Dream Theater though.
They are I think the evolved version of Porcupine Tree, because the only people I know that like Dream Theater also like Porcupine Tree, but it's also like such an acquired taste because you have to get over John Petrucci's solos and how much he jerks himself off during them. Not that they're bad. They're
It's
just annoying.
bands where your songs are like 7 to 8 minutes long. I'm just like,
So I'm pretty much.
So you don't like Opeth?
Opeth's okay.
All
It's
right.
just I like it in small doses because some of their shit's just so long.
I like when Jesse and I go to the bar
well-
together and we play entire Opeth albums on the jukebox.
That's
Horrible.
it's a different thing though, because you're going. You almost have to like with Opeth. It's like you got to listen to it by the album. You got to like sit down and listen to the album.
Yeah.
That's
I
probably
feel
my
like
problem.
that
So
with
I just try to pick random ones out and listen to those, and I'm just like,
right. If you're gonna do that, you have to have you'd have to have someone tell you which one.
I'll send you my playlist that I have for Opeth because it's like my favorite 2 songs from every album.
Harlequin Forest.
Honestly,
And-
Orchid is one of my favorites
Do you
because
like
that was my
Mastodon?
first album. You showed me Mastodon. Mastodon's pretty amazing.
such a good band.
I always got them confused with
Mastodon's interesting. I never could really get super into them.
who does that song for Aqua Teen? Was that Mastodon?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't talk, watch me. Doodle-deedle-deedle-deedle.
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, you know what I was listening to on the way to work this morning was Death Clock.
I was just gonna say I was into Mastodon around the same time I was listening to like Death Clock and all those bands and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I think like going back, there's
I
another
miss
band
Death
that
Clock.
there's another band that I think kickstarted what I think for the 3 of us and all of our friends, what kickstarted our love for metal was Gojira. I think Gojira was the band I got into right after Lamb of God. But they're also you guys like them, right?
I went into hardcore after I started listening to Lamb of God.
What's hardcore, like Fall of Troy? That's what
No,
math
like
metal.
more
Oh, God,
like
it's-
like Oceano, fucking.
Oh, that's like deathcore.
Kind of, yeah. That's
Oceano's good,
something like
though.
that, or like
I saw them
American
live.
Me is more hardcore than Oceano is.
It's a
but-
lot of breakdowns and clashing weird chords and shit.
Oceano is
Yeah.
pretty sick. I saw them with my buddy Shane and those guys from OCC.
But I think there was also a period where like there was a lot of metalcore, like As I Lay Dying and
Black Dahlia Murder, or no. Who
They're
am I
heavier
thinking
than-
of? Who
they're
am I
way
thinking
heavier.
of?
Bullet for My Valentine.
No.
Both of My Valentine's.
Wait,
kind
maybe
of
I am.
metalcore, yeah.
No, I am thinking of Black Dahlia Murder, but that's not fucking
I'd more
Death Mass Divine. Who did that one?
I'd more kind of like
Trivium was
Black
even
Dahlia Murder.
sort of metalcore in a way.
kind of, but they were slower. All of Bullet for My Valentine's like heavier songs, I feel like were really fast. So they were kind of like an offshoot of speed metal a little bit, but not really. They were
Yeah.
kind of like a weird hybrid. But when
Like
the
Scream, Aim,
Trivium just
Fire.
being like just, I don't even know what to call
Yeah.
Trivium. So
Yeah, well,
Trivium
speed metal is a weird genre too because it can be a lot of different things.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that, you could have like Sonata Arctica is speed metal,
yeah,
Like-
or Nuclear
or
Holocaust,
Dragon Force.
No, that's
or-
thrash.
Dis-
Nuclear Holocaust is thrash.
Disharmonia Mundi. It's kind of like that.
But
Who?
trying to like pinpoint, like getting the perfect
I
genre
don't know, they're
for
in my
each
phone.
song is so nitpicky.
I just made it up, dude. Yeah, it's
Um,
very like. Well, I mean, genres in general are pretty like subjective.
Yeah,
You could categorize things into different genres than someone else theoretically.
yeah. You could group together fucking like Dream Theater, Lamb of God, Slipknot. You could just call them all metal.
It's metal,
Yeah.
It's just metal.
which it is.
That's why Sirius Radio.
But there's
sucks.
also a genre to me that is metal,
Yeah,
not death metal or like and then there's also heavy metal. Like to me metal is like Metallica or like
or
Megadeth.
like Judas Priest, all that kind of
and
shit.
then heavy metal is maybe heavier than Metallica, which is a step up. I don't know how to example that really.
I would think like metal is like your Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, all those kind of bands. Heavy metal
Iron Maiden.
would then like heavy metal
Judas
would then
Priest.
be.
You said Judas.
He just said all the bands that I said. The then like heavy metal might be. I really don't know. I really don't fucking know.
I can't because it's like for me, death metal
Metallica.
is like,
no, I think that's just metal.
Oh, heavy metal.
Yeah,
Metallica could be. It's tough. Like
I think heavy metal has to have some sort of like screaming vocals
where's
in it.
Black Sabbath and everything?
Metal.
They're just regular metal.
I don't know.
Black Sabbath is probably metal.
Candlemass.
I
That's
can't-
more doom metal.
Like for
Candlemass is so good.
death metal doesn't start until the band Death.
Right.
That's where like that's kind of my like general reference point, and
So
then
I
I go,
feel
okay,
with,
now there's death metal that exists now.
Yeah.
And there's black metal, which I'm not a big fan of.
Dude,
Black metal's cool when
Aaron got me so into black metal like a few months ago that I just can't like.
it just all sounds very
Such
similar.
a
There's a
yeah.
band called Dissection that's really fucking good.
Wicked good. Emperor is amazing. I love, honestly, unironically, love Mayhem. Like
I've never really listened to Mayhem.
Dan and I watched. You should check it out. We could watch together.
Okay, let's do that. And then we'll watch
and then you
The
can
House That
kiss.
Jack Built, because that's a movie that you need to watch.
Of
you
course,
guys can make out, and then you can watch Hamilton too.
We can
That'd be
fuck.
sweet.
we can turn on Hamilton while we fuck each other. Yeah,
and just not pay attention to
just
it.
like background noise kind of thing.
yeah.
Be staring into your chocolate
Zemiah will have me
starfish
bend
rather
over and
than
be like,
watching
"This is
that
for
shit.
making fun of race,"
Well,
and I'm like, "I already apologized." But
It's like bite the pillow.
there's a don't even need to. I'll bite my tongue.
something's
Just
getting
blood
bad.
everywhere. No,
biting
but there's
something.
there's a documentary about Mayhem.
Jason Mayhem Miller.
No, Mayhem, the band that Dan and I, or not, it's not a documentary. It's like a what are those movies that are? It's a biopic.
So it's a documentary, but it's not really a documentary?
It's a documentary, but it's a little more loose, and it's a lot of cinematography and flair.
Yeah, so kind of like...
They dramatize all the big points, but they ignore the little points.
So kind of like Motley Crue's movie.
Yeah, or like
Yeah, The Dirt.
Forrest Gump,
Yeah.
because Forrest Gump was a real guy.
He was?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it was based on a true story.
I thought that was just a fucking made-up movie with Tom
Wait,
Hanks. I had no
you guys
fucking
didn't
clue.
know that
Forrest
Forrest Gump
Gump
was a
Forrest
real
Gump
guy?
was a real dude?
Forrest Gump was a Heisman Trophy winner for Alabama.
So does that mean Bubba Gump Shrimp is not actually from the Forrest Gump movie? It's an actual,
Bubba
it's
Gump-
its own thing?
Yes.
This isn't right.
You didn't know that?
My mind is fucking blown.
It's not
right
real.
now.
Don't look it up.
No.
Don't look it up.
Yeah,
Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Just keep it.
You're
Just
lying
keep
to me.
it alive.
You're
So full of
fucking-
shit.
You piece of shit. He does this to me.
I'm like, there's no way that's real.
Like, oh yeah, Zemiah, I only play NHL with 95.6 controls.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you.
my favorite
Fuck
story.
you, Jake.
That's my favorite story. Zemiah, tell them.
No, they've heard it enough. Every single podcast I've been on with you guys, they've heard that story. And I think they've heard enough
Yeah,
of
you
it.
did tell it on his show.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
So go listen to
my
Constructive Cynicism.
favorite.
Don't listen to constructive criticism.
That's my favorite fucking story. I've never fucking. Anyway, we were talking about. I got to figure out what it's called. It's called like the Lord of the Angels or something. Oh, hang on, another. Nope. Okay. Swipe left.
So Forrest Gump is not
It's
based
not
on
no.
No, I gotta make sure.
Heisman Trophy
have
winner.
to
What the
make
fuck
sure.
you do? As soon as you said Heisman Trophy winner, I'm like, okay, don't buy that at all. Gotta look it up though.
Lords. It's called Lords of Chaos. So it starts off with Euronymous starting the band Mayhem with this guy named Dead, and this like
Wait,
it's.
whoa! His name's Dead.
That's what he called himself.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
he was
I was
fucked
gonna
up. He
say
was the
Taylor.
first guy to do like the not the first guy, but like he did the black metal face paint, the death paint or whatever. But he would literally like he would put like dead animals in his pockets so he would smell like death. And they would do shows like that, and they were super hardcore.
That's such a bad idea though.
And then this other guy joined the band, and he ended up. I cannot remember his name. His name was Vars or Von. I can't remember.
something with a V.
And he joined the band, and he ended up stabbing the lead singer to death.
Right.
That was Mayhem's the band where the one guy blew his head off with a shotgun, and they used that as the album cover. And then the guy they replaced him with, they toured for a few years, got super big in Europe, and then they got accused because they were legitimately involved in going around and organizing church and cathedral burnings. Like, they burned down a cathedral from like the 1300s.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And this guy ended up stabbing Euronymous, who was the front man of Mayhem, to death. He goes to prison for forever, and now he's out.
That's
and he's
right,
still doing black metal. But anyway,
I forgot all about that shit.
I love
That's mayhem. That's mayhem.
What I'm
dude,
getting
if you think
back
about
to is that I love black metal. There's something really cryptic and fucking weirdly empathetic about it, because it's like when I'm feeling really frustrated and I can't put my thoughts into anything that's comprehensible.
it's very active,
It's very cathartic.
And it's aggressive,
I guess is
too.
the word I'm looking for.
and it's a lot of all that for like fucking 3 minutes, and then well, if I had a guitar, I could show you exactly the chords that they're doing.
Yeah, no, it's just Gorgoroth is another band where
They do a lot of those chords like on the D and the G string, and they kind of they'll double pick it really fast. And like I don't know, like I've seen a lot of fucking just like random black metal bands like opening for certain bands. And to me, I never really see any that like stand out. And I'm sure like Aaron could show me some.
dude,
you know?
Aaron, like, because I was in a I've been in a funk for the past while.
7 years, 8, 9 years.
Money.
Literally, yeah, 7
On the
years
money.
since I started my opiate addiction. So 7 years encapsulates my entire addiction and recovery, and then my mother dying. So
Right.
yes, 7 years. Put that in a fucking time capsule.
Right.
Send it. But yeah, the 7 years. What was my point anyway? Let's change the subject. Somebody say
I don't
something.
even remember.
I don't
We were
even
talking about
remember.
black
Something about
metal.
black metal.
We're talking about black metal, and
It's just
then
it's nice and cathartic. Is like it's for me it's when you like, for me, listening to the bands is one thing, but then you look, like, I look them up online and I get into them and I learn about why they're all, because it's all just pain and anguish and suffering. And it sounds like wicked cliche and super emo to be like, that's why I like that band. But it's just nice to know that there's people out there that are going through the same trials and tribulations that you are. And that's why I think you and I gravitated towards the Suicide Boys so much, because like there's songs that they play, like Secondhand is one of my favorites, because it's like, how did you even know that? Like, how did they know what I was going through? You know, and they managed to do that. The whole album, I Want to Die in New Orleans, like literally
their best album.
It's
in my
amazing.
opinion.
It's amazing. And I hated it at first, but it is honestly so good, because it's like, and then Scrim's solo album was just the cherry on top to all that.
Before we get to that, you remember? Well, yeah, obviously remember. But you said that Forrest Gump was a real person.
Yeah,
And you're not wrong, and you're not right.
that's
So
usually
Forrest
how I
Gump-
operate.
So Forrest Gump was based on one of like a couple different people. One of them was Sammy L. Davis.
Sammy Davis Jr., dude.
Sammy L. Davis. A lot of the story was taken from Sammy's real life, including that he was shot in the butt. He is a Vietnam War veteran.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can have the rest of it. There's not much left anyway.
But yeah.
Whoa, not the sunflower seeds, though. Those are David sunflower seeds. The David ones, dude.
Like $1.38 a
I
bag.
know, but they're David ones. Those are the
You
high
get them
end.
for free at work.
They're the high-end ones.
I just have a
They're
handful.
expensive, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Thank
I don't have that kind of money.
All right, so what's this?
I eat them with the shell, so like.
No,
I
well,
need them,
be
like-
careful.
I need the mic away from me.
Be careful.
Wait, what were
with
you
it.
saying? Forrest Gump was based on a guy.
Sammy L. Davis.
Well,
It was
don't do
based
that.
on a
Don't put
couple
them on your
different
leg,
paper
because I found a
people,
bunch
but-
of shells last time. There was just a bunch of fucking sunflower seeds like laying all over the place.
That's why you got to give him a solo cup to put the shells in.
Yeah, I need a spitter for my seeds.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, no,
all the shells.
I was done with that.
Oh, you had the Sammy Davis.
Yeah, but yeah, and I also saw that the sheriff or whatever it was, or the head dude, or was it for Oswego County Police Department?
I wasn't even. I just saw this, and so I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, they went to Onondaga Lake the other day, and they were flying around an American flag
Trump
with
flag,
Trump's
it says.
face. Yeah, it was an American
What the
flag
fuck
with
is a
Trump spray painted on it. It was a defaced American flag.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, on their boat.
What? Okay. So, somebody saw it and they reported it?
Yeah,
Look at him, dude.
but like, you're a police department. Why are you advertising that you're supporting a political fucking
Yeah, don't do
agenda?
that.
Don't fucking do that. That's not a fucking good idea.
I feel like there was another. Oh, the one thing I wanted to talk about was the
I
This
think the
came
one
out.
thing is that society has been so massively political now
Yeah,
that
'cause it's
not
the
only
fucking
is it
election.
unavoidable, but people feel like they have a right to do that, which they do have a right to do that. But
I mean, yeah, but
that
also
doesn't
isn't-
mean they don't have a right to not receive criticism.
Well,
So,
well,
like,
but here's the thing: like, isn't the flag supposed to just not be?
it's not supposed to
altered?
be fucking altered
No,
at all.
it's not.
No.
at
So
all.
so how about just have a flag with Trump's face on it?
That would
make a new
literally,
flag, or like,
or also,
that would kind of look like he's running a regime. But
I
also
guess, but
don't
you could
also don't have a
just-
flag on a boat paid for by taxpayers' money.
Well,
That's
right.
flying.
Also, you could just have the toupee, just like a flag of just the toupee, like the Trump hair.
I guess, but then I guess that would be more satirical,
Well,
and they
I
wanted
guess
to like
They don't-
hit home that they support Trump. So I don't fucking know. It was
Well, yeah, I guess.
it was a fucking stupid idea. It was a really
but
stupid
I saw
idea.
this earlier today, which is really cool looking. They're launching this. Microsoft is launching this fucking game streaming thing, which it's already out. Like you can kind of already do it. It's like a beta.
Yeah, it's a beta.
But they showed a trailer earlier today, and it was showing these controllers that you can attach to your phone, and
looks
it looks
dope.
like a Nintendo Switch, basically.
It does.
And that's really cool. Like I might get those. So all the games on Game Pass are going to be available on it, like right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, also you can Bluetooth your controller to it or whatever. I think this is a wicked cool move. It's
Yeah.
basically like they're competing with the Switch, like for mobility, like purposes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a portable Xbox.
Which is going to be sick because
Now, as long as
I'll
it
be able
works.
to fucking sit on my break at work and just turn on my phone and start playing like fucking Call of Duty if I want to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you have to have your controller, but
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, if you buy those attachments, and they haven't said anything about prices or anything like that, but
There's probably a shitty like touch controller that they implement too.
sure.
You know, they have like that. They kind of have like the transparent board that you can use with like touch on your phone, but it'll probably not work that great.
And that's part of my worry is even with any game streaming, my worry is connection. Like not only connection but like quality of streaming. So if you're
Yeah.
streaming, like you got to be in a place that has really good Wi-Fi already, or you got to have super high speed data to be able to fucking stream your game. And I believe it works the same way it already has with your console has to be on, and then you stream it to your phone. So your console has to be on at home. So it's not running it through your device.
But there are things, there's like apps you can get that allow you to like turn on your Xbox from wherever you are. Like if you get the Xbox app, there's a thing where there's an app where you can fucking turn on your Xbox and start downloading.
Honestly, I would assume that with this streaming app, they would just have that capability built in.
Exactly.
Theoretically, they should.
That'd be annoying to be like, oh, I'd like to play I didn't leave my Xbox on.
Right. Or it's like, and then it's like, oh, this is a pain in the ass. I gotta go to the Xbox app, turn on the console. Then I gotta go back, go to fucking game streaming, wait for that fucking shit to connect. Hope I have a good connection. Like, it's, in theory, it's a great idea. And it's only gonna get better, obviously, if they stick with it. Not like they did with the Windows Phone, where they're like, oh, bye, that's gone. See ya. Which theoretically, if you stick with the Windows Phone and you start getting apps and you start getting that kind of capability, then it's a competitor all of a sudden.
I had a Windows Phone at one point.
Yeah, Rogan was just talking about it today.
I had the Nokia Lumia 900. It was hyped as the greatest smartphone ever created, and then they never supported it.
Yeah, I mean,
or the 920 or whatever it was.
You had to get offshoot apps to use SoundCloud and Spotify, and they worked like garbage.
Did they have third-party apps, or was it?
They did, but they were terrible. They were all fucking horrible.
Yeah. The coolest thing, though...
Well, of course, they're not officially made by that company.
Yeah.
The coolest thing, though, was the live tiles. That was the sickest shit.
That was cool, but I wonder how much battery impact it has as well. I guess it wouldn't matter because your phone would have to be on, right?
The battery, at least when I had the Lumia, the battery was pretty solid, but I also wasn't doing anything other than going on Facebook, Reddit, and listening to music.
Exactly. The live tiles thing was just a gimmick. And other than that, it was just a regular smartphone.
And in theory, that gimmick would be
really cool. The UI was
cool.
nice, though. I liked the UI because you could customize it, and it was easier than an Android, but more complex than an iPhone. It was like a happy medium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But now Android is so fucking second nature to everybody that it doesn't matter.
Android
we all have Androids.
Well, the thing is, Android is at the point where it's so customizable that if you want to and you're used to an iPhone, you can just make it look like a fucking iPhone and make it run like an iPhone.
Yeah.
Can't do that literally with an Android on an iPhone, though.
Right, no. You can't do that kind of customization.
That's the one that keeps me from iPhone is I don't want my phone to be like a fucking cookie cutter fucking thing. Like the one thing I love about Android, I don't have them enabled now because there's a fucking they fucked up the update, but they have widgets. Like I love the fucking like those the ESPN cool. Or I use CBS Sports, and you have like your 4 or 5 favorite teams, and all of their news updates and score updates are all on your homepage.
I like having my homepage here, and then I swipe over, I got my calendar and all that shit right there.
That's sick. I should do that.
And I'll use like the Spotify widget at work, just because sometimes, like, you know how like you'll turn your phone on and like Spotify will be up here.
I like your background, by the way,
and like the play. Thank you.
I love in living color.
That's the lock screen controls for Spotify don't always work.
Yes,
that's part of the problem.
What I was gonna say. They don't always work.
They've worked for me recently though, so that's a good thing. I think they need to. It's because the newer Android like OS started having that, and I don't think Spotify caught up to it yet.
No.
But that kind of worries me because now Rogan's got this deal with Spotify, and Spotify has this huge plan to have video podcasts.
They're already doing it.
And apparently they have a couple that already do it.
The Misfits podcast?
Like the band?
No, it's do you know like Swagger Souls, Fitz, all those people? They're YouTubers. It's a YouTuber podcast.
I know Swagger Souls.
He's on the Misfits podcast. And they do, and on Spotify, you can just listen to it like a regular podcast like this. But when you open it up, and when you when you're looking at like here, I'll open that up. When it's just this, the video's right here instead of the album artwork.
Yeah, and that's cool. Really, really cool, and I love that because they understand that that's the only platform you'd be able to do that on.
Do you guys use Spotify?
YouTube Red or whatever, YouTube Premium or something would do that.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that's shitty about it though is the like the Spotify, like the podcasts on Spotify that have video. If you're in a place that doesn't have great Wi-Fi or great data, it takes those podcasts 10,000 times longer to like actually start playing on your phone.
They need to allow you to
do the start and stop thing.
Can you not differentiate between the two?
No.
No, it's going to be one.
You
thing.
can't shut it off.
What they need to do
weird.
though is give you capability to be able to download it to the device ahead of time.
It's
Yeah.
like Google
Then-
Podcasts is this shit.
Right. And I use
Can you do
Pocket
that?
Casts and
Yeah.
On Spotify, though?
Oh, on Google Podcasts you can.
Yeah.
I don't
only
know.
listen
I
to
don't
podcasts
use
on
Spotify.
Well,
Google
Rogan
Po-
just went to Spotify, and that was the only reason I was using
I'm
Google.
gonna
Pod-
convert to Spotify for podcasts as soon as they start to optimize it.
See,
But I'm
I-
using just Pocket Casts right now.
I use Apple Music for music because I've had the same Apple account since I was like 9, so all my music is there.
Yeah.
But Google Podcasts I like because the queue that I set up for Google Podcasts I can use on any device. So like
Yeah.
I go on my computer, type in Google Podcasts, boom, I'm literally starting where I stopped.
it's locked to your Google account.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Spotify does the same thing.
I don't use Spotify
So,
though, so
like-
I don't know.
Right. You
Like,
would have
right
to
now-
universally use it for.
If
all
I
of it.
play this I was listening to Not Another D&D podcast earlier. If I play this right now, and if I have Spotify up on my computer at home,
It'll
I can just take
it'll
this,
attach to
and there's
it.
this little button down here where you can pick anything that you want it to stream to.
Yeah.
So like, or if I'm listening to something on my phone and I get home, I'll just take out my earphones, open Spotify on my computer, and hit play, and it will automatically start
that's
playing
what I
where
do
it
at
was.
Yeah.
So I have
well,
a-
last night I was actually listening to Spotify on Xbox, and I picked up my phone, and it had already had like in my drop down active thing, it was already connected to it.
Yep.
Like it did it automatically.
That's like I rave about this. I think I said this the last time we were on. Like literally my favorite thing about technology is how seamless media is right now.
Yes.
I
Yep.
cannot get enough of it. And it's like YouTube is great. I can watch a YouTube video at work
and then pick it up.
and then
at
go
home.
on my computer, go to my history, boom, right there.
Yep.
Like right where I left off, maybe like 30 seconds or a minute before so you can catch up a little bit.
And I can go like I can watch it on my tablet and then go, oh, hold on, I'm gonna go on the computer, pop open the laptop, pull up the fucking
It's
podcast
so
I was just listening
seamless.
to right from where I was.
It's just because you're signed into the same account,
Yeah.
and it's taken this long for this kind of shit to happen.
That's
Yeah.
what's wild to me. And it's like it's only going to get better. Like I think
Yeah.
Spotify is on the right direction with doing the video podcast.
If they can do all that,
If they
and
can
do it the
figure out
right
how to
way.
make it not fuck with your bandwidth, I guess because you're only streaming the video when you have the app open, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But the thing is,
It's
like,
the
it'll
same
still try to
file.
load the video when your phone is like,
So it's like
in sleeping.
Right.
It's basically
So,
playing the MP4
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
at all times.
So that'll
Yeah.
fuck with you if you like are running off of like data and you have a data cap on your phone.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
Which
why
is
they should set it up where they have the MP4 and the MP3, and there's a little switch in settings where you can just be like, I don't want to watch the
Right.
videos, I only want to listen.
or
to the
allow
audio.
you to download things ahead of
I think
time.
it's
which
weird
is
that they
what
don't
I
have an
do.
option for that. It's very
That is
weird.
weird.
They might. We don't know.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I haven't even checked settings since they added it. So
I mean, it's a very early version of it still.
Like
so-
Google Podcasts, I love because you can set a sleep timer too.
Mhm.
So
That's nice.
I set a 90-minute timer when I lay down after I take my meds, and it's like it'll stop like a fucking sleep timer on a TV. And
Right.
I wish YouTube had that. I wish there was a way like
YouTube
what I have to
should
do.
have that.
What I have to do for YouTube is like I have YouTube Essential Suite or something, or YouTube whatever suite.
Yeah, it's an extension, right?
It's
for
an
your-
extension, and it's like you can have a queue, which you can't do normally. You can set a queue up of videos, and if you're watching a video and you're still on YouTube, it'll keep that video playing in the corner, so you can add more stuff to the queue. But I have to like intricately allot time for me.
Right. You have
Otherwise,
to
it
basically,
auto plays all night, and you wake up.
Yeah.
Like the worst is Come Town. I love the Come Town podcast, but Stavros' laugh is so loud. It's so annoying.
I
It's
can't.
like
I can't deal with like, if like autoplay is on YouTube, it fucks up. Like
It's
I
gonna
want to
be
be able to go
wicked
through my
weird. It
history and
gets
like
so
see the
weird.
stuff that I actually watched.
Dude, the autoplay on YouTube makes no sense. Like, I'll pull up a Come Town episode, and then the next thing in my fucking feed will be like Bill Burr on Conan.
yeah, it's
And
so
it's like,
weird.
why are you showing me like? And
It should just play the next episode.
The worst
of
is
podcast.
when
Yeah.
the worst is when you're up next is a video you've seen 100 times.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to give you what they think you want to see, and it's like, no, just give me the next fucking thing that's on, like, that's in the playlist.
And you have
like,
enough of my data that you should be able to do that.
exactly.
Or also just don't play anything next and let me choose what I want to see next.
Yeah, like if I'm sitting here watching General Sam, don't go to Game Grumps directly fucking afterwards. Like, I like both of them, but I want to continue watching General Sam. Or like if
Right.
I'm watching Oni Plays, don't fucking pull up a Seth Zine set to Zine Act.
Dude, I always get when
video or
I'm
something.
when I'm watching Oni Plays, when I'm watching Oni Plays, my autoplay will always be fucking like Joseph Anderson or Super Bunny Hop, where they do like the video essays. It's not even
Yeah.
a let's play, it's like a fucking dissection that's like 2 hours long. Like Joseph Anderson, wicked awesome content. Love watching his videos. Tess Snakerer does like the same thing. He does like 2 to 3 or 4 hour videos like dissecting games, but it's like if I'm falling asleep to a funny let's play, just fucking keep playing that.
Yeah.
But also stop playing shit I've seen 100 times. You know what I've watched before.
Sure.
Have you guys noticed that YouTube doesn't tell you when ads are playing anymore? They don't have that little gold bar. I've noticed now. Some videos don't.
On what? On
Like
your-
when you're watching a YouTube video,
On
an
the desktop?
ad will just start. Like I don't even have those little, like, you know how like
when
in
you
the
pull
time
up
in the
the-
tracker
that's
thing,
weird.
there was like those little yellow markers so you knew where the ad was. They don't have those anymore.
I see it
I don't know
sometimes.
if it's an opera thing. Or
I see it
what,
sometimes, but I also have had times where it doesn't do that, and it should. I wonder if, as a creator, you're able to place those in the timeline.
Yeah, it might be a new thing where they have to place them if like they want people to see them, or they can choose just not to.
I think you can pick how many you have, and then what you should do is find a spot in that timeline where there's a break where
Yeah.
you can do that. Because like I know with a lot of podcasts, if I watch them on TV and they have those ads, it cuts off like in the middle of a fucking sentence.
Yeah.
It's weird. Misfits will do that.
And then I see some Spectrum ad, and it's like, okay, I have a Spectrum, so stop marketing to me.
Yep.
What I think is cool, because I have an ad blocker on Opera that, like, I don't have ads. It'll just do like a 5-second blank screen and then skip. But with like I started watching Pro Jared again because he does the Final Fantasy, like the video dissections I was talking about. He does like half-hour, 40-minute dissections of every Final Fantasy game. But what it does for me, which I don't know who else does this because I don't watch a lot of different guys. I watch like 6 or 7 YouTubers. But when you start the video, it will say includes paid promotion. So that way you know that the ad is part of the video instead
Yeah.
of being a separate, like, I would rather
The guys
like
at Polygon do that.
in
Yeah, they'll do like
Dollar
Shave Club.
Angry
or
Video
whatever.
Game Nerd does that, where it's like Pro Jared had one that was actually pretty cool. I thought it was really funny. He did a Marble Madness review, and he gets like 3 minutes in talking about Marble Madness and marbles and stuff, and he goes, "Can you pick out my 2 favorite marbles out of this, stack of, or this landscape of 50 marbles?" And he's like, "These are actually my 2 favorite." And he picks out 2 Raycon earbuds. And then he has like a cute little quirky ad that I don't have a problem with. I hate when it's like a fucking hard cut. We had this problem over the weekend. Did you watch the fights last Saturday? Dude, we had this problem at Christie's last Saturday where literally not literally every, but pretty much every single commercial was the same exact DoorDash commercial over and over. We got the same
they don't
DoorDash commercial
differentiate.
4 times in a row during an ad break. And we're paying for UFC Fight Pass and ESPN Plus. Why are you giving us ads? We're already paying.
Yeah, it's probably
need
a
the space.
cookies.
It's so
a cookies
annoying.
thing. Like, so all I get now are nuts.com and Spectrum ads. Those are the only things I get. Because I recently went to those websites, basically.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of Geico ones because I thought that I was uninsured at one point with my car, and I went to
That's
Geico to get a
nightmare.
quote,
That's a nightmare. Don't
and then
do
I called
that.
my dad. I was like, am I insured? He's like, yeah, you're insured until I take you off. I'm like, oh my fucking God, thank God. But now every single day I get 3 calls at the same time every single day from Geico, and I get a shitload of Geico ads on YouTube, and I'm just like,
they really want you, dude.
yeah. But then I appreciate like the YouTubers, like Ryan Hollinger is a guy I watch a lot. He kind of
the horror movie guy, right?
Yeah, he dissects horror movies and like gives his own view on them.
So good.
So good. That's why the whole reason I watched The House That Jack Built was because of his like whole thingy on it. But what he does is he'll do his entire video, and then at the end of the video, he'll do his sponsorship, whether it's like ExpressVPN or Raycon or whatever, and then he'll roll his credits. So there's a certain point in the video where you just know, all right, the video's over. Like the content part of this video is over. I can just go to his next video.
That's good. Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them place it right at the beginning.
Or in the middle somewhere. They're like, but I'm just going to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Raycon. And it's like, oh, my fucking God.
See, we do all of our ads. We just, like, pre-roll. So it's just right at the beginning. Get them out of the way. Boom. And everything else, you don't have to worry about it. And our ads are short anyway, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, even bigger podcasts do that. Rogan does it, where he'll do 6-7 minutes of ad reads. Only on the audio version, obviously, but if you listen to the audio version, you go, okay, well, I'm just going to skip the first 6 minutes, and then that's it. That's all you got to do is skip a couple minutes.
Joe Coy's podcast, The Koi Pond, is guilty of doing that a lot. Like a really, 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 really long ad reads at the beginning of their podcast.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my God. And they'll be different. So like someday they'll only have 2. Another day they'll have like 4 or 5. Another day they'll have like 3. And
it's like
I don't
at
know
the beginning,
where.
I don't mind it as much if it's at the beginning because I can just skip it and find it. It takes a couple of seconds. If it's in the middle of the podcast, if they're all mid-roll, then you're in the middle of listening to it. Maybe you're working or whatever, and you got to pull out your phone and go skip like 60 seconds, and then you're still not at the end of it, and you're like, okay, 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
my favorite podcast, which is not another D&D podcast, they'll do it in the middle, but what they'll do is they'll kind of stop it at a good point in the middle, so it's not just random where it'll cut off their sentence.
Yeah.
Like they actually place their own
as long as
ads.
you can do that, it's fine.
And then you know when the ad starts because there is a half a second of piano music to start it. And then they're like, hey, have you heard about Dollar Shave Club or MeUndies or whatever? And then they'll do and they only keep it to a minute, and they only do one ad read, and then they'll continue on with it. And at the end of their episode, they'll do the rest of the ads.
Right. It's like you basically have to understand what the audience is going to be experiencing.
Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind anyway, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. And then there's podcasts like Welcome to Night Vale that just don't have no ads. Well, at least I don't know if they have ads now because I haven't listened to them in so long, but their earlier episodes, they just didn't have ads.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it all comes down to, most of the time that stuff comes down to cookies and what you've previously looked at, you know?
Yeah.
But if you look at a big company like that, like Geico, you're going to get those ads because they have a shit ton of them. So,
yeah.
Like Spectrum, that's why I see so many of them because they're a big company.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of money into the ads.
And then, some podcasts will go to, not even a sponsorship. It's more of a kind of I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like when a musician goes to a record label. It's kind of the same thing for a podcast guy because one of the podcasts I listened to, Mr. Creepypasta's Story Time or whatever, for the longest time he had no ads. And then just recently he just joined this thing which is starting to get him paid a little bit more for his podcasts, but he has ads at the beginning and the end of his podcast and in the middle now.
Right.
But the company places them for him. I don't think he has any choice on where they go. So it's just a mess.
I've
Like
definitely
you'll start
seen shows that have done that for sure.
you'll start the podcast and you'll be listening to an ad and you'll be like, okay, and then the same ad will play again and you're just like, what? And then it'll start the podcast. I'm like, why'd you play the same ad twice?
Right. What happened was they signed a contract with that company and they published it and they placed the ad. Basically, they're responsible for the advertising. So, like, the people who run the show and do the show, they don't have to worry about the advertising, which is a positive for them. Mm-hmm. But also, it's, like, not great for the consumer.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just with the technology they had with advertisements, literally just advertising what I want.
Yeah.
If you really want me to buy your shit, but then you go back to, the companies buy the space for the ads.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and they also, like, they don't know what you have and what you don't have either. So, like, when I get Spectrum ads, they don't know that I have it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like, the Dollar Shave Club stuff. I'm so fucking sick of hearing Manscaped and Dollar Shave Club ads. Oh, my fucking God. Especially Manscaped. And
Manscaped was funny at first.
Yeah.
And now it's like, dude, you're literally advertising like clippers and razors that are lower quality than like stuff that we're paying half the price for. Like I use Remington buzzers and clippers and
or
stuff.
like Phillips or something.
Or Phillips. It's like, okay, like their biggest thing is you don't have any nicks. Well, if you know what you're doing, you're not going to nick yourself.
No, I've never nicked my balls in my entire life.
Yeah. Just don't nick your balls.
Just don't nick your nuts.
We have a waterproof set of clippers. I've had the same clippers since I went to college.
And
they're waterproof.
Like, oh my God. Who's using an electric razor in the shower?
Right.
I am.
You are? Really?
Yeah, it's waterproof.
Okay. Well.
I would be afraid that I would get electrocuted.
No, it's kind of like the turn on for me. It's easier to shave my shaft when I'm hard based on danger.
That's just
Oh, like so you get a fear boner.
A fear erection, yeah.
Fear erection. Okay. And
let's talk about Workaholics.
That was a good show.
All right,
that was over before its time.
All right, our discussion is done.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That was Workaholics.
But, so what's the status with your show?
Oh, so my show right now, we're kind of just stopping so that we can completely reformat what we're doing. Because at the moment, what me and Salvi are doing right now, I'm looking at the analytics. It's not working. Like, we're just, every single week, we're just, like, we were doing the same stuff, and even I was getting bored of it. I wasn't excited to do those episodes, and I didn't even end up wanting to listen to them afterwards. Like, when I would do your podcast, I'd be so fucking excited to, like, listen to it afterwards. Mm-hmm. But, like, with my own podcast now, it's just like, okay, I don't even want to listen to that, so why would anybody else? So
see, the only reason I listen is to find like a clip or something that we can post as its own thing.
I usually skip to 45 minutes.
That's the hot spot.
That's the hot spot for us. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm nice and drunk. I'm a little racist. It's fun.
But most of the time it's just like me and Salvi sitting there like, what'd you do this week? I did this. I don't know. What did you do this week?
Oh, you need like a wild card.
I went to work.
Yeah, a wild card is
okay.
Yeah, you need a guy that just doesn't have any restraint.
Yeah, and then we're just like, so we didn't have anything planned for this episode.
For us.
Yeah, I couldn't put my finger on it.
I couldn't point a finger at the fucked up individual that's on our show.
I mean, I could just unhinge myself. But I don't know how Salvi's going to respond to that on air. Like, when we're just doing, I don't know if he'll freeze up.
Well, that's the best thing is figure it out on the air.
Yeah, trying to figure it. Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I just got to figure
into the
things
deep
out.
end, man.
Yeah, I just want to actually have a theme. Not really a theme, but like have something that we do every week that's like a draw-in for something.
We always talk about Rainbow Six Vegas.
Well, a target audience is gigantic,
Puerto
and
Ricans.
we don't have one, which is why we don't really go anywhere.
I thought like your guys' grab for a while there was like the would you rathers. Like if you guys found yourself just like not finding anything to like talk about, you were just like, all right, what would you rather do?
Sure.
This or this?
Yeah, and
I forgot we did that.
We haven't even done any of those, like the food or object or anything like
Food or
that.
object.
We haven't done them just because we started doing Skype and things like that, and we just kind of like stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm going to come up with.
I got one
Okay.
right now.
All right.
Pizza or depth perception?
Is depth perception an object?
Yep.
It's a thing, I guess.
Depth perception. Actually, pizza, because I don't
pizza.
have that now.
I was gonna say.
So,
I was gonna say.
I don't have depth perception.
I would
I'm
say
like
pizza
blind in my
because
right eye,
It's
so.
basically just like being one-eyed, right? Because as soon as you don't have
Or just
both
having
eyes, you don't
horrible
have
vision.
depth perception.
No, my eyes are fucked. There's something going on in my right eye that I have to go to a doctor for, but I don't have
Probably
insurance
developed
yet.
an astigmatism.
So it's basically
I do have astigmatism.
Oh,
yeah.
you do?
Yeah.
you're basically
I'm supposed to
saying,
wear glasses. I haven't worn glasses in like 6 years.
Well,
It's
I
not
think
good.
most people are supposed to wear glasses. Most people that go for an eye test, they go, have glasses fast. Get glasses.
But I'm legitimately blind when I cannot read the TV screen when I have
tell
my
you what it
glasses
says.
off. Like
Really?
I know what it says because I've been sitting there staring at it.
I
for
can
the
read it
past couple
fine.
hours, but
Yeah, I can read it.
if I didn't know what it said, I wouldn't be able to read it.
But you're
I have
basically asking if you want pizza or one eye. That's basically what you're asking.
My thing would be. All right, how about this? Would you rather have
It'd be hard
hair as your teeth or teeth as your hair?
hair as your teeth.
teeth is my hair. Because I'll just
That
fucking.
would look metal as fuck, right?
well,
That
yeah,
would look
but
badass. And it's
Seth
well,
is fine because if he does teeth as his hair, it doesn't.
Wait, so if you do teeth as your hair, do you still have your teeth?
Yeah.
So you have regular teeth and you also have
But how
head
good are the teeth?
Yes.
How good are the teeth?
But if you have hair as your teeth, you have hair on your head and hair as your teeth.
That's
are they
weird.
perfect? Like, are they perfect pearly whites, or are they like my teeth?
I mean, it depends on how you take care of
Yeah,
them.
it's a you brush.
You'd
I
have
gotta
to brush
my-
your head.
But can I shave my teeth hair?
No.
I can't.
You'd
get
have
them
to
out.
pull them out.
It's teeth. It's teeth
Like you ain't got
because
teeth.
you can't chew things with your fucking hairs.
Teeth is my hair. I'll
Right.
just wear a hat. I'll be like Double D. Maybe that's why Double D always wore a hat.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd rather be able to chew
I don't
things.
know about that, but
I wouldn't want hair for teeth.
no, that's what I mean. Like you can't chew things. That's it. It's a wrap. I would make the sacrifice of having teeth on my head to fucking be able to chew.
But then, like, I think about it and I'm like, then you'd always have hair in your mouth. But then I'm like, but then wouldn't you, like, be used to that if that's, like, your whole
It's the only thing you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's all you know.
So,
It's a toss-up.
you guys got another one?
I can see it either way.
I have a would you rather.
All right, do it.
Would you rather be deaf without arms or blind without legs?
Blind without legs because at least I can use a mobility scooter if I'm blind without legs. If I'm deaf and don't have arms, I can't use sign language.
Right.
So I can't communicate.
you just be like,
No, deaf without arms, though.
this is how you remind me. Every deaf person sounds like Meatwad when he's drunk.
But it's like, look, you can't.
Rise, chicken.
It's
Chicken
tough.
arise.
Deaf without arms or blind
'Cause
without
you
legs?
can't hear, but you can see. I mean, seeing is pretty key, right?
Yeah, it's
Being
pretty
able
It's
to
communication. How, like,
If you're blind without legs, you can still communicate.
exactly. But if you're deaf without arms, you cannot communicate. Unless
You
unless you were hearing from beforehand,
Nope.
and you can see. Yeah,
Well, you can still.
You can get a cochlear implant, but
No,
the
but-
deaf
but-
community will shun you for it because that's what they do.
that's that's not what
No.
That is
so,
what they
so,
do.
So if
Look
you're
it up.
they do.
if you're deaf
I saw it
without
on
arms,
4chan.
There is a certain, like, there are deaf people that that see cochlear implants as like a way of like trying to change how they are, and they feel like being deaf is a part of who they are, and they don't even like want to associate themselves with hearing.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
it's
they're
a
just
weird
like deaf is
community.
who I am,
It's
and
like
it's always the
Midsommar.
way I've been. So I don't want to hear anything. I don't need to. I can just I have
Sure,
sign
you've
language.
adapted to the way that you
Exactly.
live. But like
Cochlear implants
You-
are the
you-
first step of Deus Ex.
you don't have to do sign
Kinda.
language though to
Prosthetics.
be able to communicate.
It's a sick game.
Wait, what? What was that?
You don't need sign language.
Well,
though.
no.
Like you can still talk.
Yeah,
Like you don't know how it sounds, but you'd be able to like there's deaf people that can talk.
yeah, but,
But
that's
it's not,
usually like deaf people that can like talk to where like you can actually like understand what they're saying.
They've
Usually have some sort of hearing, because you have to hear how the words are actually formed in order to form them.
right.
So if
You'd
someone
be
just
able to
holds
read
up the
lips.
picture, like if you were deaf, you were born deaf, and somebody holds up the word like just a piece of paper with the word wolf on it, you're not going to know how to sign that out, because you like or sound that out yourself, because you've never actually.
What if you learned
heard
sign
somebody
language with your
say it.
toes?
That's
That's
you
what
can't
I would do.
that,
Or
'cause you can't finger spell with your
How
toes.
dexterous are you with your toes? Where signing with your toes is an option.
you'd get used to it, dude. You'd hit practice.
I don't
no,
think you
you
can.
can't.
I'm just gonna do
Have
it.
you ever
I'm just
seen-
gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it.
How would you be able to do? I think that's P.
Right, but you can split your toes.
How are you supposed to do that with your toes?
I
You
like your
split 'em.
socks.
Thank you.
I have
You're
this,
welcome.
I have the same ones, kind of.
All of my socks are black with the gray
Yeah, I have the same
sole
ones.
and tip. All
Those are
of them.
good socks.
I like those because I use them for work. Because I have to have the higher ones for in my boots, otherwise I get
Yep.
torn up.
I just don't like having that. Like I wear joggers a lot, and sometimes they ride up a bit, and I don't like having that like space of skin
Oh yeah,
that's there sometimes when you just wear ankle socks.
I do
It
like
bothers
I
the
do like a
fuck
good
out of me.
tall. I like a good tall sock.
A
I like
good
dress
tall
socks a lot.
They're
I wear-
really comfy.
Dress socks.
So comfy.
They're so clean, but they smell so bad. It doesn't matter if you work for a half hour or 8 hours or 12 hours or 26 hours. Your socks are going to smell equally as bad.
Yep.
I've never worked a shift wearing dress socks where my feet don't reek,
right.
but that's the
fair.
cost of comfort.
Yeah, or you just have stinky feet in the first place, you know? See what I'm saying? Put some powder in those fucking shoes, you know what I mean? Put some baby powder in there.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to use that stuff anymore. It gives you cancer.
Oh, does it? Everything
so do
does. So who the
eggs.
fuck? Yeah,
I'm
who
just
gives a
kidding.
shit?
But no, it was talcum powder. People were getting talcum powder. Like, people were getting testicle cancer from using talcum powder on their balls so much.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why they use cornstarch now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I rub pizza on my balls, and then it just smells like pizza.
The grease gets everything all oily down there.
I do.
And it moves around
I do need
easily.
to wake up at 6 in the morning.
Okay.
So I think
Did
That's
you cut
it.
it?
we should wrap.
I
it.
was gonna wrap it up by asking about your show. That's why I was asking about your
Okay.
show.
Oh,
Lord.
yeah.
then we started
But
talking about socks and
we're
deaf people.
reformatting. We will be back by the end of the year. I can't say 100% when. Hopefully soon. But yeah, we will be starting up again. We're not. The constructive cynicism isn't done. So
Good. I want to talk to like other people in the network too about what's going on,
yeah.
because I know it's like different for everybody, and everybody's gonna deal with this weird situation however they can. So
Yeah.
and it's a different situation. Everybody's in a different position. So some people are working, some people aren't, and all that shit. So
Yeah.
And I luckily got my hours changed for my orientation, so it kind of loosened us up a little bit.
right, we might be changing what day we release too.
Yeah, because
But
D&D
who the
is
fuck
on
knows?
Tuesdays, and we usually record on Tuesdays. So we could go back to Wednesday.
I play D&D twice a week.
Maybe,
now.
yeah, we could
Fuck.
do
That's
Wednesday.
insane.
I-
Dude, I can't even handle once a week. Like,
I'm in so many campaigns right now. I am in a
I wouldn't be able to
Warcraft-based
remember it,
campaign. I am in 2 epic level campaigns where you go over level 20. I'm in a Call of Cthulhu campaign, a Pathfinder 2e campaign, Waterdeep campaign, a bunch of different shit. And now I'm starting another one on Thursdays with Nick Kenny.
It's too much to remember.
I love D&D, so I just keep playing.
Yeah.
As much as I can.
We should have you guest in one of them.
I wanted to do a D&D podcast with the network. Like, have it be, like, me, you, and Jake, and then, like, maybe have guest characters come in being other people from the network. Or, like, just people that we know that would want to play.
Yeah.
Or something.
I've had this idea for, like, playing cards, too. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be
Playing,
cool.
like, Texas
I do
Hold'em.
want to start playing Texas Hold'em.
Yeah. It'd be sweet if I could suspend a camera up above the table and have a top-down cam, like, in the corner.
As soon as you said that, I thought of Magic the Gathering, and that's how much of a nerd I am.
There's a lot of possibilities.
I was like, you could play MTG.
Thing is, you also got to
nice.
consider, like, audio versions. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
But I think if we did a Texas Hold'em thing, it would just be a YouTube thing where it's like a spin-off show, and we just do it once in a while.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Right now, the plan is we'll have Bill on next week. We gotta get the ill Bill back in the building.
The doctor
Bill
has to be in the
Harrison.
house.
Yep. He hasn't been in the house in a while, so. But yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely good to see
Thanks
you
for
too.
being sexy as always.
Thank you.
Well, okay.
You smell good.
Thank you.
I like your
And
shirt.
Thanks.
I
Those
like your
guys,
penis.
they're gonna go kiss. Those guys are gonna go kiss, and
Definitely are.
we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Arrivederci, folks.
Yep.
ClearShotsPodcast.com is where you'll find links to everything we do. You can check us out on Twitter at ClearShotsPod. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check us out on Periscope for live videos. If you have anything you want to ask us, send us an email at clearshotspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.